There we are. Right, we're live. Hello, everybody. Excuse me. Now, I'm sorry about being a few minutes late. Well, man, 6 minutes past. I had to shut down the computer and reboot it from the beginning, and it takes forever. Anyway, I'm back. I've had a rough week, let me tell you. It's so bad. I actually made a list of, which I'll probably pull down in a minute. Made a list of all the stuff that's been going on. So anyway, I'm going to be drinking some vodka with some Pepsi Cola. It's going to be a strong one, that one. I tell you, there's several, because there's a bunch of topics that I want to say. Look, here's the list. Oh Christ, there's lots of people winding me up left and right. There's a bunch of topics that I want to talk about. Obviously, the election, the American election, because I've got a bet down on it, which I stand to be richer than horse manure if that comes in, and I'm going to use money to get a sleeve done. You know, get all this left arm done. There we go. About half an inch of vodka, I reckon. It was quite a. Anyway, so there's that. Yeah, lots of people winding me up. Of course, I had a bit of an incident in McDonald's a few days ago where I actually had the kid threatened to call the police on me. You know, just my opinion. I'm sure you'll agree. Anyway, okay, so let's see. We got a few people watching. Oh, right. I'll tell you. I'm gonna pull this forward so I can read it. We've got a load of comments. Curran Gaming YT is in the house. Hello. Let's see. George C. Evening, Mark. Glad to see you catch up from the. Yep. Good to see you from the very start as well. Rough week, my end too. Oh, let me tell you. Well, wait until you hear my one and see how it can. Well, yours is probably worse, but I just get people just I'm not a people person. Newt, what are you drinking? Well, I'm drinking vodka. Usual cheap ass co-op brand. Actually, Asda is the same price as well. About $16.50 for a litre. That and some Pepsi Cola. Beer bong, yes, yep. They have the vodka in it, quite a bit actually. So we're going to taste. Yeah, that's kind of a medium strong. Mystic Genie. Oh yeah, it's Scrooge McDuck. That's right. I've been telling people at work if my bet comes in, I'll be richer than Scrooge McDuck. How come you cans of Pepsi and not the cheaper bottles? Oh, it's because I can't remember how did I manage to get hold of these Pepsis? I think I got them from the machine at work. I think. Yeah, they've been in the fridge for a week and a half. I got late at night when I finish work, because I do a 2 till 10. I got a couple of cans from the machine, so they've been in the fridge for over a week. Yeah, normally I'd buy the shop brand cola. No, Mystic Genie. Sorry about the election. No, you haven't lost yet, because you see what I mean. People are convinced that Biden has won because the television news are telling them that, which the news media are full of shit, and they have been for the last at least 4 years since Trump came in. They're biased as all hell, and they're announcing the election, which they have no business doing. One, it's not their fucking job. Two, they have no proof that he has won. And four, there is evidence coming out of cheating and what was the word? Fraud and downright skullduggery, right? So Trump is taking it to the high court to get it all straightened out. He had Biden hasn't won shit. And with a bit of luck, he won't win at all. But he hasn't won shit at the moment. It's the news television lying. So if you have a betting slip like I do, keep it safe. wait until the courts have done their job and announced a winner. It's not the television news's job to do it. They're wrong to do it, and they're passing on wrong information, like they've been doing all along. If you watch the riots in Philadelphia, you only got to watch the fucking news for that. You got people throwing bombs at the police, throwing bricks at the police, setting buildings on fire, looting trainers and televisions and as much as they can carry out of the local department stores. And the news, the television news, calls it mostly peaceful protesting. Whereas the footage shows out and out riots. They are biased and they are lying. So don't believe them. If you've got a betting slip, keep it safe, at least until the official word. Yeah, Mark Mullet, Trump will still win. He's in with a very good chance. Well, if you look at what the fuck's been going on, I mean, you've got polling stations that closed at 11, but Trump's in the lead. Polling stations close at 11, which they shouldn't do because they're 24 hours. They got a rota system going on, people coming in, people leaving, and 24 hours. But they decided to close at 11. Come 4 o'clock in the morning, a van shows up and was filmed dragging boxes, or loading boxes onto a trolley into the building where the place was supposed to be locked up. No security guards, no police, no staff of any. The guy walks in with thousands upon thousands of votes, dumps them in there. 8 o'clock the following morning, everybody walks in. Okay, everything's normal. Let's get to counting again. But there's 700,000 extra votes, which are for Biden, stuck in the corner, which everybody who doesn't know would assume that they're from the day before, but they've been loaded 5 hours after the place shuts. You've got that bullshit going on. You've got voting machines where you vote for Trump and it registers Biden. That's been happening in half a dozen machines all over the country. You've got dead motherfuckers voting, And the thing is, what strikes me, they don't even have the decency to fabricate votes from the recently dead. They're doing votes from people who died in the Civil War. You got 170-year-old people voting. It is crazy. You've got people who they get married under their name, and also they're getting married under their maiden name. So they got 2 votes. You got people who are voting in the city they're living in, and you got people who are voting in the city they would like to live in. So lots of people getting votes. Lots of people are, dead fuckers who are voting. Now does that happen? You've got ballot counters, okay, who are being taught how to fudge with the figures. There's been audio tapes coming out all over YouTube of, what they do, they hire school kids or college kids because they're easily pushed around because they're young. They have to be taught how to do the job. So there's a woman doing the teaching, and she's telling them how to cover numbers with a Post-it note. So when the people put it in the box, there's a big stack of 1,000 voting slips. So the guy comes up, thumb, 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 Post-it, whip that out in the canal, and and she also on tape, this woman, says that if anybody comes in, starts getting lippy, says that they haven't voted, but it's possible they may have, but they're adamant they haven't, just let them fill out a form as soon as they leave in the skip, like this. She's told them this. What else she got? It's yeah, so I mean, when you've got all these bits of information, I mean, singly know that they're wrong, of course, wrong kind of behavior, but singularly maybe mistakes, not so much fraud. But when you put them all together, when you've got the guys doing the counting, you're supposed to have a guy 6 feet behind who's watching the row of counters, making sure there's no skullduggery going on. They've been thrown out. They're not being let in the building, even when the court says they must be allowed in. They just move the tables. And what happens? You've seen this on YouTube, perhaps, everybody out there. When people catch wind of there's being fraud happening with their votes, what do? They show up at the counting station, not interfering with anybody who's doing the counting. They're on the other side of the glass door, and windows, and they're just looking in, saying, what the hell? What happens? The polling people come up and board up all the windows so that nobody can see. Why do you think you can't see into a kitchen when you go out into a restaurant? There's no way to see in the kitchen because they don't want you to know what's going on in there. Exactly the same principle as the polling station. They blocked up the windows with boards and pasted paper all over them so that nobody can see and film the bullshit sluggery that's going on inside. It's that simple. And when you add all these things together, nobody in their right mind can, well, maybe Biden supporters, but nobody of sane mind can say, oh, yeah, it's all about, no, there's something going on. And that's why we're going to that's why they are going to the High Court and to say, there's some bullshit going on. Here's the proof, and let the law courts decide, So it's the law courts who decide who is president and who is not the media, and it's not over yet. Oh boy. Right, war ready. Mark, I love your live streams. Thank you very much. Thank you for being here. Theresa May says Joe Biden is sleepy. The guy's definitely out of his mind, And of course, we know what's going on there because, Joe Biden, 46 years in politics, hasn't done a fucking thing. He goes for president. The guy's out of his mind. He can't, no fault of his own. The guy's got dementia. It's fucking obvious, right? His second in command, that Kamala Harris, what the media like to sell her as the first woman and the first woman of color to be running for vice president. Anyway, so he's trying to be president. Amazingly enough, people are voting for him. But as soon as he gets in, he's going to be, and then she's going to take over, which is the plan all along. So yeah, sleepy Biden, out of his mind Biden, bloody, I don't know, he's got Alzheimer's or some shit, but he shouldn't be president, the guy's in his late 70s, I'm sure he's late, so he's 78, something like that. Somebody correct me, perhaps. Let's see, not a troll. Amrik Sadara. Funny how you have a problem with Trump. Trump, why is that? Oh, he's talking to somebody else. Theresa May, Mark, I'm Make Grinders Cry. I changed my username and profile picture. Aha, I see. So it's not the real Theresa May. I see. Yeah, a lot of people do that. I get used to seeing the same names and profile pictures, and then people go change it, and I get confused. Not a troll. They blocked the windows. Indeed, yeah. Why would somebody want to block the windows? I had a chat with somebody at work, and he said, "Well, Mark, the counting process is private." I was like, "Fuck off." It's the vote who you voted for is private. The counting of it is. That's why they have people watching them to be scrutinized, but they got but if they're doing nothing wrong, if everybody's above board, why board up the windows? If there was nothing going on and then everything was under transparency, they would say, okay, well, look, I realize that you people out there seem to think that there's some skullduggery going on. You're welcome to stand. Please don't cause any trouble. Just stand there, watch what's going on through the window. You can do that. Be happy. We'll do our job. And everything's copacetic. But no, they boarded up the window. So basically, they're saying we're doing some shit that we don't really want you to know about. So yeah. See, George C. Theresa May in the House. Boss man Biden. You believe it's fixed? Absolutely. I mean, the evidence is there. Doesn't take a genius to work out that dead people don't vote when you sling at people who are supposed to be monitoring the count. They're being thrown out. Ballot boxes reading the wrong vote. Yeah, there you go. Thanks, George C. He turned 78 on Friday. Can you imagine that? I mean, there's that old joke back from the 80s, I remember when I was a kid, and when Reagan was in politics as president. And of course, there was a big deal about he had access to the nuclear bomb button, and the joke that every other comedian was saying that, I mean, Ronald Reagan was so old that and he's got control of the nuclear weapon button. And they were saying, my granddad's 4 years younger than him, and we don't let him have the remote control for the television. And it's the same thing with this Biden. 78 years old. I mean, what would you trust him with? A remote control? Or we wouldn't trust him around your children. That's for bloody certain. You watched him. He's the child sniffer. It's not just me. Have a look at that. Have a look at the videos. He loves to sniff the children. When he's on stage and he's got his arm around them, he gives them oh God, it's disgusting. Oh, Craig Hymas. Okay, what happened in McDonald's? Okay, yeah. Well, actually, what I'll do, I will talk about McDonald's. Remind me if I don't. But I've got a list of stuff that trouble in McDonald's argument. Yeah. Okay. Well, I'll start with the McDonald's one. Anybody want to? I suppose you want to hear the McDonald's. Okay. Yeah, the week before. This was half a week ago. And if anybody wants to go into the Kingston McDonald's, the Kingston next to the Kingston Tesco, if anybody wants to go in there and tell them that I'm talking about them, by all means go in. Tell them it's 17 minutes into the live stream. Go in there and tell them this, because I'd love for them to watch this. Let them know that they're being talked about. Kingston McDonald's, Milton Keynes. Anyway, a week before I go in, and it's just on the day of when what's his name, the Prime Minister. Oh fuck me. Anyway, the Prime Minister, he orders another lockdown, right? A month-long or 2-month-long lockdown. It's the same, So anyway, I go to McDonald's and I go in and order my stuff, and then it turns out that, and I'm looking around, and I thought, fuck me, it's a bit Thursday, it's a bit quiet in here. Why is nobody sitting down to order my stuff? And then I find out that I'm not allowed to eat inside, right? Because of the lockdown. Oh, shit. He could have told me that before, right? So I go outside and eat it across the road, and it's cold outside, so the burgers are going cold real quick. And so the following week, I'm over that, and I figure, right, okay, this time I know what to expect. It's not going to be any annoying like it was. So I get my Big Mac meal and a filet meal, right? Because I want to eat before I go to work. I get them. I go outside, and outside the McDonald's store is a bunch of benches and tables, right, next to the drive-through. So I sit down in the cold, in the fucking wind, trying to eat my my dinner. So try not to breathe in too much of the car exhaust from the drive-through, and I'm sitting outside of the store, right, on the bench. And this kid comes up. He's got a he's like a I don't know, he's a bit of a goof. They can't trust him with a fryer, so they give him a spray bottle and a rag and right, get out in the car park and wipe down the rails. That's all he's good for. Anyway, so I'm just getting my stuff ready, and he comes up and he's standing 6 feet from me, and he's got his mask on up to here, and he's glaring at me, right, as if I called his mother a fucking hoe or something. He's glaring. And I'm looking out to my left out there, and I said, "Why are you staring at me?" He says, "You're not allowed to sit there. You got to go." What? Yeah, you got to go. You can't be sitting there. Like, we're in a fucking attitude, right? And I'm thinking, I don't want to be spoken to by a kid, but I've got stuff that I've got to be eating before. So I said politely, You've done your job. You've told me. Thank you. I'm going to go back to my thing. And he says, no, you've got to leave now. You've got to go. You can't be sitting here because of the COVID. You've got to go. And I said, thank you. You've done your job. You've told me. Now, thank you. You know, you know, I had every intention of going because I didn't want to make a scene, but it's because of his attitude. He's absolute. You've got to go. You know, not like, excuse me. There's a bit of a, you know, you're probably not aware, due to the COVID shenanigans and that, unfortunately, we can't have people indoors and we can't have people outdoors sitting on the benches. Very sorry, but that's the okay. Fine. But no, he come up and said, right, you've got to go because you know, you've got to move. You can't be sitting here. And for the, you know, like the third time he said it, you know, but by this time I'm thinking, well, I can't get up now because, you know, because of this attitude from the kid. And he said to me, you got to go now, and if you don't go, the next step is I'm going to phone the police. So now he's getting no cooperation, right? So I just sit there and I'm eating my burger because the thing is, he doesn't seem to realize, I mean, I'm 50 years old. The threat of sending the police on me doesn't have the same effect as when I was 12 years old. Two, you don't have, McDonald's staff shouldn't be threatening you with the police at full stop. So he told me he's going to phone the police if I don't get lost, right? So that's it, right? All what they call that, cooperation is gone, right? So I'm sitting down. He goes, right, okay, fine, okay. He goes indoors, and I'm just about to get, you know, I'm thinking, right, okay, fine. I'm just about to get my stuff together because I've got a shopping bag and I've got my McDonald's. I've got fucking 2 drinks over here. Then this big manager bloke comes out and he says, yeah, you know, like he was a lot better than the kid. You know, he was saying, look, you know, the thing is the law and all this stuff. And I said, look, he just told me he's going to call the police on me. What the hell, right? And admittedly, I did swear once, which I could see he wasn't, you know, I said, look, I did apologize to him for swear. I said, look, you know, what the fuck am I supposed to do? I apologized to him for that. I said, look, I'm just agitated. That's all. I didn't mean to say that. He was okay with that. You know, we're adults. And I said, you know, he threatened to call the police on me if I don't go. I mean, what the hell's up there? You know, she said, right, I'll deal with him, but, you know, you can't be. I said, well, what am I supposed to do? Get up? Do I have to go eat at the bus stop, for Christ's sake? And he was, well, look, you know, and his opinion, his attitude was, well, look, you know, basically, yeah, you can't sit here. But like I say, I mean, he's a lot better than the kid. But at the end of the day, I buy my McDonald's food. I cannot sit out in the street and eat it. That's against the law. But I can go across the street and sit at the bus stop, which is the same bloody thing, only it's further away. And it's not as convenient because they don't have tables at the bus stop, you know. So anyway, that was my McDonald's story with this goof kid telling me he's going to, you know, call the police on me as if there's about, oh no, oh, please, you know, it's like, get the fuck out of here, you know. But yeah. So, but I tell you what, though, I mean, like I say, I'm, you know, I've mentioned I'm 50. I've been going to McDonald's for 40 years. I've never had a fast food restaurant, you know, fast food cafe outlet threaten me with the police. I don't think ever. Even the row I had with the guy in the Kentucky with the favorite chicken the other day, which is I've got on my list. Even he didn't call the police. Nearly come to fisticuffs, though. I'll tell you what. I'll tell you about that in a second. But yeah, anybody going into the Kingston, Milton Keynes, McDonald's, by all means, tell them that I've been talking about them on the live stream, because it was totally out of order. The way this kid came up to me, I don't know whether he said something first and I didn't hear him, which was why he was glaring at me. I mean, he really was a fucking glare, you know, as if I just motherfucked his mother or something, you know. But I didn't hear what he said, so I'm guessing he was put out that I didn't answer him. I don't know. But first I realized he was there. He was fucking staring at me with a real killer look. And I asked him, what are you staring at? You know, why are you looking at me like that? You know. But his whole attitude from the beginning, you can't sit there. You got to go. Move. Right, let's go. Anyway. But anyway, so there's a wrong way and a right way. But the thing is, what the people, young kids don't seem to understand is, I mean, I learned this when I was, I've done bar work. let's see. I've worked in, well, I've worked in several places. If you're a kid and you're an employee, do not get into arguments with the public. With the public or the paying customers. You don't fucking stand there and argue with them. If you put your point across and they don't want it, don't stand there and argue with them. You go and say to the manager, excuse me, Mr. Manager, there's a bit of an issue outside. The customer doesn't want to leave. I've explained that he needs to because of, fucking Chinese plague. And you pass it on. He's the manager. He's paid extra money to manage shit. That's his job, not your job to argue with the customers. If the customers get an irate, well, I'm very sorry. Okay, I'll ask a manager to come and help you. Don't stand there and argue. Okay. Anyway, so what this kid doesn't seem to understand, he stood there and told me basically I've got to get up and go, and if I don't do it fast enough, he's going to call the cops. The first thing he should have done was to, okay, I'm very sorry, right, okay, fine, go in, get the manager. That's what he's paid for. Anyway, so that's my McDonald's story. So yeah, I'd like the people in McDonald's to actually hear about this, because I'm not the kind of guy. I'm not going to go to head office and complain about it. Even though the kid's a dopey kid, he can only be trusted with a rag and a spray bottle. Even though he's a goof, I wouldn't want him to lose his job. I'm not that kind of a guy, But it'd be interesting to go in there and say, "Oh, excuse me, Mark's Remarks has been talking about you and some dopey kid." Anyway, so if anybody wants to do me a favor and go in there and tell them, it'd be great though if I can get to 30 people all go in and say, "Mark's Remarks says you really ought to have a look at this." Anyway, I don't know. Let's see. Some people have been writing. Restaurant shitbox, yeah. Super 23. Yeah. Seaweed reacts. Should have kissed him. Yeah, that would have made him run for sure. Oh, Neil Fitzpatrick's in the house. Hello. T29 as MXIW. Oh, Christ. Hello to you. Welcome to the channel. Ralph the Bulldog's had he's retracted his message. Same as Newt. Oh yeah, daily car meets. Have you any Pepsi spare? Well, I've got 2 cans left. I plan on drinking a load of vodka. I've got to go into work tomorrow. Oh, I had somebody come round, Godfrey, you may have met on one of the videos. He come round and fixed downloaded some shit and showed me how to work the camcorder, getting it, downloaded. I've got all the instructions written down meticulously on a pad over here, which is how I managed to send the video of me saying there's a video in 10 minutes, 15 minutes. T29 AS MXIWS really is sadomasochic. Really is. So, yeah, I'm not sure what referring to. Maybe the McDonald's incident. Maybe. Yeah, Peter B. No communication skills. Well, a lot of young people, they just don't know how to engage in public. Well, yeah. Well, the thing is, I don't want to go into too much because I had a bit of a ding dong with the cafeteria guy at work, and I don't want to go into too much because he's the type who will, he's a young guy, so he's going to go to management and cause a lot of trouble. But there was an incident where I questioned him. I had the audacity to question why he doesn't wear a mask while he's serving up the slop, while he'll actually jump on everybody about wearing their mask above their nose. He's closer to the food than we are, but he doesn't seem to realize. Anyway, but yeah, he's a young guy, so he's the same thing. He'd give me he'd come to me with a bit of an attitude about me questioning his his ability to not wear a mask if he wants. Anyway, what age were you when you had your first drink? What was it? Sure, that's from Sean Kingham. Well, it would have been lager at about um, 16, I guess. Actually, well, I went to America when I was about 16 years old. I went to Boston, Massachusetts on a school exchange. Uh, School kids from here went over to live in American houses with families and go to American school for a month. And then a little while later, a bunch of American kids come over here to live in our houses and go to our English school, school exchange. So while we were over there, I had a few. I got my taste for Budweiser over there, which tasted a whole lot different than the English Budweiser. It tasted really nice and smooth from a can over there. I come over to England thinking, I've got the taste for a Budweiser now, so I'm drinking Budweiser. It was totally different. But yeah, that was about the age of 16. But when I was properly drinking, yeah, it was probably about 16, 17. We found a pub that didn't give a shit about who they let in, so we used to go in there. I swear to Christ, 17 years old, I could drink exactly 10 pints of lager. I mean, I would be flat out on the floor, crawling home. But yeah, because we knew how much my mate Wayne, we used to take exactly enough money for 10 pints of lager. So we knew when we ran out of money, then we knew how much we drank. And it was 10 pints. But that's crazy. 10. I can't even drink half that now. 3, 4 bottles. I drink bottles mostly, but 3 or 4 bottles, 5 at most. And I'm shit faced. I don't really drink draft as such. Not after working in the bar. You get to see all kind of bullshit shenanigans they pull behind the bar. I was in a bar once. Like where they got the they got your pint thing, and they got they got the beer nozzle with a handle on top. Flip the handle, and the beer nozzle, pours the lager into the thing. This girl would put the whole, put the nozzle into the beer. So and I said to her, because I mean, we got told at the bars, don't do that because the nozzle goes into the beer, it pulls out, it starts to go a bit nasty after it's been exposed to the air and just sitting there for a while. Then you put it into somebody else's lager. Don't do it. Just, So, this girl got right pissy with me at the bar about it. This is her living and she knows what she's doing. And, how dare I ask her not to do it? She went to the manager, told her about it, and I said, all I asked her to do was not put the nozzle in my beer. So, but it's one of those, health and, you get some manky, shitty beer from one, into another. Anyway, so yeah, so it would have been lager. Later on, 18, I had a taste for, let's see, 18, 19. Yeah, I had a taste for whiskey for a while. I didn't, it didn't really last all that long. But now I prefer vodka. I'll drink beer. I'll drink lager. But not when I'm going. If I go out somewhere, I'll drink a beer because you get more for your money. If I'm at home, then I'll drink vodka. Oh yeah, T29. I'm going to abbreviate your title there. T29 ASM. Self-appointed COVID marshal. Yeah, peak cringe. I swear to Christ, we've got that at work where you've got certain people who are like, me sir, they want to be the COVID marshals. They get a nice new high-vis jacket with COVID marshal on the back. They get to laud it, put your mask on, and all that kind of fucking shit getting in your face and being fucking, basically lauding it up. And then you got your motherfuckers who have got no business talking to you anyway, saying, "Oh, excuse me, you should have your thing above your nose there." And they're like, "Who the fuck are they?" It's like you got nosy motherfuckers as well as appointed people who do it for the jollies of being able to push people about. Yeah, they're the ones. They're even worse. They're even the worse than the COVID marshals. At least the COVID marshals are a pain. But it's the ones who have no business talking to you in the first place. Who say, "Excuse me, you should have your fuck off." Yeah, just mind your own business, you shithead, you know. Oh, Mr. Deegan is in the house. Great to see you live, indeed. Thank you for joining us, Mr. Deegan. Oh, Mad Maz 49. Hi. Oh, it jumped up there. Where you gone? Oh, I've lost you. Oh shit. There we go. Mad Maz. Hi, Mark. Will the bookies pay out if Trump wins, or will they cover it up? Well, well, the thing is, yeah, I mean, it's all up in the air now. It's going to go to the high courts. You know, people at work are convinced that I've lost my bet because they're believing what they seeing on the television. You know, even I mean, the day that they announced it, I went in to have dinner at the canteen, and it's on the telly. Biden's won, and Biden's getting himself ready for. I'm like, what the fuck? How did this happen? It's only 3 hours ago. I was seeing some other news, and now they're talking about. And I said, well, no, I said no. They're going to high court. How can they? And then, of course, it turns out to be bullshit. I mean, I figured it out within 20 seconds. Well, a minute and a half. You know, but because the television news were full of shit. They were talking out their ass, saying that he'd won when he hasn't. You know, so you know, keep your betting slips if you've got them. Not a troll. School exchange? Question mark. Did you go to private school? No, I didn't. No, I went to a public school. I went to Stantonbury campus here in Milton Keynes. This was a thing. I don't know whether they do it now, but it was a thing back then. I'm not even sure how many. I don't know how many years they'd done it. Several years. But yeah, no, it was just a thing. It wasn't. No, it's not. No, basically, they get in contact with a school in America and say, right, how about get 10 of your kids who want to come to England, live in our houses, go to our school, eat our shitty food, deal with our crap ass weather, and do that for a month. And then what we'll do, we'll send 10 or 15 kids over, live in your houses, go to your school. So, you know, yeah, of course, we pay for the experience, you know. But no, it's just a thing that the public school did, Stantonbury campus, Milton Keynes. I was there, so I left there in approximately 86, about 16, you know, somewhere. Yeah, if anybody knows somebody who went to school at approximately 1986, up until 86, you know, send them to the channel, see if they recognize me, you know, and I'll, you know, if they got a profile thing, I might recognize them as well. But yeah, maybe we can maybe remember each other. Super 23, 13 Champagna. Okay. FMCRE repair. Hi, Mark. Did you get the camera sorted? Yeah, I got the camera. Here it is. Apparently, I can do live stream with this, but I need to get a phone which I can zap the barcode in order to, you know, do that. But maybe one day. What I'll do is I'll see how long the camera will run before it shuts off. So if I can't do it live, I'll just do it. You know, I'll you know, maybe film getting the tattoo done. You know, I mean, 'cause it'll take several hours. So I mean, you know, even if I do it in like 2 or 3 parts, you know, that'll be interesting. You know, do like, you know, if it takes like 3 hours, or you know, say an hour, and whatever, half an hour, make 3 videos of it. You know. T29 ASM. Yeah. Do you like pizza? Yes, I do. I do like pizza. I like pepperoni pizza. I like actually, I like pretty much all pizzas, you know. Which actually, that reminds me that I was in a pizza shop a couple of weeks ago, and I said to the manager, I gave him my card, and I was telling him about my channel. I said, look, you know, if you want to have some advertising, if you give me a t-shirt, he's going to think about it. He hasn't contacted me yet, but all I need is a t-shirt, which I can say thank you very much to Johnny's Pizza Shop. Here's the address, here's the details and stuff. I get a free pizza, and they get a shout out. That kind of thing. Oh, so if anybody if you know anybody who has a business who is interested in something like that, well, I'll wear your t-shirt. I'll shout out, tell them your phone number and your website and where you are, in exchange for a free whatever you do. If you do t-shirts, I want one of those. If you make snacks, send me a box of those and I'll review them. That kind of stuff. Seaweed reacts. You should do a cooking video with Prince Andrew. Prince Andrew, oh God, yeah. Well, what a lowlife he turned out to be. Alex says, well, what do you do for work? Well, I work in a warehouse, humping some heavy stuff, which I like. I do like the heavy lifting. It's not everybody's. A lot of people, shit. There's a warehouse up the road that are doing less heavy stuff. They're doing like clothing and stuff. But me, I don't mind the heavy lifting. I prefer it. I get to work on the guns. And it's like a free workout. I just didn't. I like it. Newts, seaweed, let's see. Not a Troll wasn't born until 1990. So that makes you 30, I guess. 1990. It's funny. I used to work when I was at Argos before I got fucking fired for that place. There was 4 of us, and I was second oldest or third youngest. And Jim, he was like, what's he? Must have been sort of 60-ish. There's me. At that time, I would have been like 45, 43. And there was a couple of 20-year-olds, mid-20s, and it'd be funny because I'll be talking to them, and it's like what like if there was a tube of Smarties on the table, or a curly whirly, or a finger of fudge, I'd say, my God, finger of fudge would be 20p, curly whirly 20p, tube of Smarties 50p. And I'd be like, shit. I remember when those used to be 10. Tube of Smarties used to be 10 pence. And they'd be like, well, when was that? And I was like, that'd be like 1975. That was like 1975 was like 15 years before they were born. And they start getting leery with me. But yeah, I forget that when I say 1975, I'm thinking about when I was a 5-year-old. Not thinking of them being minus 15. It's funny. All right. But yeah, I mean, when I look at, was it Not a Troll there, says he's born in 1990. That was 30 years ago. So I would have been 20. This was when, a bit younger than that, when Pac-Man and Space Invaders were the biggest games on the fucking planet. People look now, I mean, young kids will scoff, they'll mock you now for playing Pac-Man and Space Invaders, but they were some hot shit. They were like cutting edge games then, back in the day, back in, maybe not 1990, but 1980, 85, Chris Hymus, what happened at KFC? You fucking legend. Oh no, not KFC. Oh, I'll tell you about it. There's a favorite chicken around the near me. It wasn't. Yeah, it was favorite chicken. Let me see. Argument with the favorite chicken regarding. Let's shouting call for the. Yeah. I went in. This was like almost a week ago. Okay, I'll go on to that story now. And what happens is I go into the co-op to get my to get a few things, and I think, oh shit, right. Well, what I'll do, I've had a load of trouble at McDonald's, right? So I don't want to go in there because I had a bit of well, not an argument. I had a few words with some woman in the week before. So I thought, right, I'll steer clear over that. This is before the kid with the police threat at McDonald's. Anyway, so what I figure was, I said, right, okay, I've got half an hour. I'll run into, the favorite chicken. I'll get something to eat, and then I'll get the bus. Oh, it was a fucking nightmare from the minute I walked in, right? Because also I needed a bunch of change because now with the Chinese plague, the bus drivers, they'll reluctantly accept your money, but they won't give you change. So you've got to give them exact money. So I need to give them 18 quid for a weekly pass. They're not doing monthly passes, so I get fucked out of 20 quid every month. So they're doing weekly passes, 18 quid. So I need some change. So I figured, right, what I'll do, because I've got some change, but not enough. So I'll go in, I'll order a chicken fillet burger meal, which is a chicken fillet burger, chips, drink. £4.50, £5. So I'll go in, I order that, great, okay, £20 on the table, on the counter. He gets it, goes out the back trying to find some change. All right, so I'm standing there like a dummy waiting on my food. Actually, I've got less than half an hour, so I've got it. So I'm getting a bit. So so it goes out the back. He goes out there for about 3-4 minutes, right, looking for some change. Comes back. Now he's searching through the till. Can't find any change. Now he's going through the drawer. Can't find any change. And it was crazy. And then at some point, he put my burger on the counter. So while he's looking for the change, and I say to him, "Look, mate, you've been running around trying to get me change. Are you going to get me a hot burger? Because that's been sitting there for like 4 minutes now." I said, yeah. So in the end, he can't find any change, right? So at this point, I'm saying, look, for fuck's sake, look, I need to eat before I get the bus and I go to work. Listen, why don't you just forget the whole bloody thing? Just give me my money back, and you can have that burger and sod off, right? So go, no, listen, we're doing it now. We're doing it now, for fuck. So then he can't find any change, right, for a £20 note. So now I have to go into my bag and pull out some coins, which I need for the bus. I have to give him that. He gives me the 20. And I thought, oh, Jesus. So now I've got like 10 minutes to eat this, or 15 minutes to eat this, walk up the street and get the bus. Great load. Okay. Let me just hold there for a sec. Peter B, thank you so much. £2.99 donation. That's marvelous. Thank you. Cheers, Mark. Great live chat again. Top channel. Thank you very much. Peter B, nice little donation there. £2.99. Thank you ever so. If anybody wants to do that, that's marvelous. I try. The things I do appreciate when people do that. It makes me feel like people enjoying the channel, enjoying what I'm doing. But yeah, he's contributed quite a few times there, Peter B. He's very generous. And but if anybody wants to contribute without too much, you can always let the ads play. They pay soddle, but it's it adds up. Okay. So there you go. Big shout out to Peter B. Jolly marvelous. And let's have a quick swing of this. My throat's going, all the talking I'm doing. Anyway. Where was I? Okay, I'm giving change over the counter for stuff that I need. I need the change. I get the food. Thank you. Right, I've got 15 minutes to eat this. Get up the street. Get on the bus. Okay, so I go to the little where there's some tables and there's some stools lined up against this mirror, this really funky mirror that's been twisted, so it looks like it gives you a headache when you stare into it. Right, one of those. I stand there, and the guy says, "Excuse me, you can't stand it. You can't eat indoors." I'm like, piss off! I've been waiting ages now. Piss off! Just let me eat my dinner. He goes, "Excuse me, you can't be eating." I said, "Look, mate, I've been standing around for 10 minutes waiting for you to get me my change, give me my burger. Now piss off, and I'm going to eat this. Now, leave me alone." And then he's going on, right? You can't stand there. You should know, you should know you can't stand in here. Apparently, this is the day after or somewhere around because of the lockdown. You can't have people eating indoors. And he says, "You see all the tables that you can't. You should know this. You can't be eating indoors." I said, "How would I know this? I don't fucking work here. Why would I know this?" I'm carrying on eating, right? And I'm like, I'm not fucking leaving till I've eaten, right? So, and he's going on and going on. I said, look, shut it. Now, and what I'm doing by now is I'm not even looking at him. I'm looking at him in the reflection in this twisted up, funky mirror, looking at him over my, he's over my right shoulder behind the counter, and he's getting really agitated. And I'm saying, look, fuck off. I'm eating my dinner now. You're winding me up now. And then in the end, I'm saying, we're done talking, get the manager. And he's going, blah, 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 blah. Manager! And I'm screaming at this point, manager, manager. And he's going, what do you want the manager for? Manager, manager, like this. And he's going, what do you mean manager? And I'm saying, the guy who owns the fucking place, that manager. Manager, like this, 5, 6, 7 times. Manager, like, oh, it was crazy. I'm losing my mind, right? And then this, what happened was this little Indian fellow, he wasn't the manager. I know who the manager is. This little fellow, he said, look, I'm really sorry about this, right? But the thing is, the law says, it's not us, it's the law. You can't eat in because of, this bullshit. I said, fine. He was a lot better than his other guy, right? So I thought, right, okay, no, fair enough. So I got my stuff. And, what I had to do is go out of the chicken shop, go to the corner shop next door, and they've got these gumball machines. I had to put my can on the gumball machine, my box of burger on the gumball machine, and eat that, while out in the cold again in the wind. But it was mad the way. The thing is, I'm not usually one to go to those, but this guy was fucking winding me up. And the thing is, I don't want to talk to some guy. All right, the guy was giving me shit. So my response was, I'm done talking to you, manager. But I'm screaming, I want the manager. In the end, it was just manager, screaming and manager, about 6, 7 times. Why he didn't get anybody in charge, he just kept on going and going. So I called him a fucking asshole as I'm going, you're in it, and all this. I'm just sort of like, oh, it was mad, right? And then, right, and if that wasn't bad enough, that was like 20 minutes after I left the house, right? I go into the chicken shop, I'm trying to eat before I go to work. So I go out on the street, and there's about 3 or 4 people in the chippy, or waiting outside the chippy next door, which they must have heard this carry on, because the door was wide open, and they're standing there, and they're all looking at me. Just eating their chips, right? So I'm eating, I've got my food on top of the gumball machine, I'm eating that, right? This basic trade trash, this big fat fucker with his fat ass wife and 2 kids and the dog and the pram, right? They pass me after I finish, right? I'm getting all cleaned up, rubbish in the bin. And what they do, they go up the path. This leads up to the second story. They go up the path, and then they decide to stop on the path and fuck around with all the groceries that they've got, blocking the path. And it leaves me about that much, well, I don't know if you can see, about, 3 feet, between them and the pram, 2 teenage kids that they got following them around. So I, politely, well, excuse me, I just made my way through. The dad takes it upon himself to say, oh yeah, way to go with what was the word he used? Way to go with social distancing. Yeah, like this. And I'm like 15 feet up the front, and I turn around just to look at him, to acknowledge, yeah, I heard what you said. And I'm like, I just carried on walking, and he's going like this. I get up the road just to make sure he's not trying to fucking creep up on me. I turn around and sort of like be staring at him like, yeah, like this. He's mouthing off some more. So I get up the path, and I turn around, and he's, he takes a different road, but he saw me standing there as if to say, well, I'm here. But it got me thinking. I mean, him and his fat ass fucking wife and the pram and the dogs were blocking the path to begin with, so left me no choice but to squeeze, politely through the gap. But it also goes to show me how pathetic that he's willing to mouth off to be so upset that somebody came within his personal space, which he made by blocking the path. I had no other choice. Invading his personal space, and 2, to fucking mouth off. 1, to a complete stranger, which you don't know what a complete stranger is capable of. I don't know whether I look like somebody who should be fucked. When I was bodybuilding, I had people say to me, "Shit," because I went into one of those therapists, once, and the therapist, while I'm waiting in the reception area, the therapist came down and said, "Oh, Mark, yeah, can you come up?" And I went upstairs to shoot the shit. And she said to me, when I came down to reception, I looked at you and I thought, fuck me, that's somebody who don't want to be messing with like this. But I was a lot bigger then. I was bodybuilding. I was, I don't think I have that persona, but I've had a lot of people in the past tell me that I do, mainly when I was training and I was a lot more solid. But the point is, this guy doesn't know who I am. He doesn't know what the reaction be when he starts mouthing off to me. I could, especially after he heard me have a screaming row with a guy in the favorite chicken 10 minutes before. So he knows that I'm not somebody who would, basically, I will voice my opinion loudly if necessary. He knows this because he heard me, and then he's like, "Yeah, all this." So, but I mean, you start mouthing off to complete strangers like that, you don't really going to get a spanner around the ear hole or a knife in the gut. You just don't know. It doesn't pay to fuck with strangers unnecessarily. You just don't do it. I mean, if you have to, then great. I mean, there's no avoiding it sometimes, but to go out of your way to have a confrontation with somebody who you absolutely do not know what their reaction is going to be. Anyway, so that was him. And that was like 2 times in half an hour. I had a fucking row with somebody. Admittedly, the second one, I'd sort of like palmed it off. When I looked at him the first time, and but yeah, it was his making though. He's the one who blocked the path. But that's the kind of people I run into. They'll block the path. I'm the asshole for trying to get through. And then anyway, smart mouth outside the front. Oh yeah, there you go. I made my notes. I've wrote smart mouth twat outside the favorite chicken. They were blocking the path. I had to go through them. Kept turning around to see. Yeah, I 3 times. Well, once the first time to acknowledge that I heard the guy. Second and third time was to make sure that he wasn't sort of going to creep up on me and while I wasn't looking, just to see what kind of a distance there is. Oh yeah, and the thing is, and that leads me on to a couple of days before. In fact, I'm going to top up this vodka. I'm sorry I'm not getting to the comments, but I mean, it looks like people are talking amongst themselves, which is great. But yeah, I'll get to the Bob Ferris. YouTube deleted his account. Yeah, you mentioned that. I read your comment to me the other day. Yes, I'll tell you, YouTube are such assholes. They're deleting people for no good reason, and you've got no recourse either. You write to them and say, "Look, what the hell?" Even that Brains Faggots one, I had somebody complain about that. I did a review. In England, there was a food product, a legitimate food product, made by the company Brains, and the product is faggots. It's a meatball in gravy. It's fucking nasty, okay? But I did a food review. I did it like 2 years ago, 2.5. One of my early videos. Somebody complained about it, and now it's been demonetized. And they wrote to me to say, "We've had a complaint. It's been demonetized." And I wrote back to them. I said, "How pathetic are you? It's a food product. It's a meatball called, I've had no response. They're not interested in writing back. It's like, yeah, we're doing this. Fuck you. You can deal with it, and we're not going to bother explaining our actions. What they need is some adults working down at YouTube. Oh, you can't see that, but that's my vodka and Coke or Pepsi Cola. Anyway, what was I talking about? Yeah, so that was that. I'll tell you, and I swear to God, that was two things in like less than half an hour. And then I've got to get on the bus and go to work and do it. Anyway, but yeah, and I think it was I think it was a few days before that. I went into again because there's a row of shops. You know, there's the Co-op, there's a convenience shop which used to be the freezer shop. There's the hairdressers which used to be my old video shop. Then you've got the favorite chicken which used to be 4 other pizza and burger and kebab shops. I've had fucking loads of owners that place. Then you got the Chippy, which used to be a Chinks. Anyway, so I go into the Chippy, right? You know, this is like a week before. So what it is, I want to go. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm going to go to another part of the area of Milton. So I'm going to get on the bus. I want to eat some chips before I get on the bus. So I go in, the usual thing. You go in, can I have a bag of chips open? They ask you with salt and vinegar. I say I'm trying as politely as annoyed as I'm annoyed, but politely as I can. Just put it on the counter. If you see me using it, you'll have your answer. I hate it when they go in, they hold it in their hands. Do you want salt and vinegar? Because I'm too fucking stupid to put my own salt on my dinner. So would you do it for me? I think, sometimes I say, no, I'm older than 5 years old. I'm not 7 years old anymore. I'll put my own. So anyway, I've spoken about this before. It's fucking annoying as shit, Anyway, so she gives me the chips, right? I put my own salt and vinegar on it. I'm eating them. Some of the chips are fine. Some of the chips are fucking old. They're hard. They've been in there for ages. They've not sold, so they figured, fuck it, we're not throwing them away. We'll just palm them off and make some dope that walks in the door, right? And that turned out to be me, right? So these chips are hard. Only half of them are edible. Fuck. I close the thing up. I eat as much as I can. Close it up. Walk out. Thanks very much. See you later. I won't be, and I'll chuck them in a bin. Go to work or go to the shops or whatever the hell I'm doing. A few days later, I'm thinking, well, you know what? Maybe that was what I've been going there for years. Okay. Never any problems. Never any problems. The food has been, it's a chippy, right? It's adequate, So I figured, right, okay, maybe it's a one-off. I'll give them another chance. I'll go in. Can I have a bag of chips? Open, please. Thank you very much. She must have known that I threw half the chips away the week before. So she gets the prongs, gets a chip, hands me the chips. And can are these okay for you? She wasn't pissy or nothing. She was all right. Are these okay for her? I went to pick it up. I could feel it was hard as fucking hell. I thought, you know what? Keep your chips. And I said to her, if you need to, why are you showing me this old solid chip? You should be able to look at that and know not to offer it to a paying customer. What the Christ, you shouldn't be asking my opinion. You should be able to see it for your bloody self. I walked out. That's so that was about as polite as I could get. Okay, I'm getting a message up here. But yeah, the thing is, that just pissed me off. When the woman hands me an old chip and says, what do you think of that? Is that okay? I'll do your bag of those if you want. No, you should be able. It's like those, I've talked about this before a long time ago on live streams. I've gone into a Burger King and you've asked for a cheeseburger. They hand it to you. As soon as I've got my fingers to it, can you not feel how unhot that is? How, can you not feel that is a cold burger? And put it in the fucking microwave, would you? You can feel that it's, why would I eat a cold? So why she was asking me, she could see, any bloody idiot could see that these chips have been standing there for a long time. Not just a short amount of time. I think, right, we can palm them off because they're just about, no, they were so old, they were starting, when they get hot, chips get hard. They've been in the heat, all the moisture has gone from them, the chips have gone hard. And, you can't even get your fork in them. The plastic fork. So her asking my opinion, she should have known, Don't ask the customer stupid bloody questions about it. Don't palm off shitty and do it 2 times in a row as well. The first time I figured I'll give them the benefit that, I don't want to make a scene. I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. It's never happened before. Next week, the same thing. You know, and she must have known that they were rubbish chips, because why would she? It's never happened, but where a guy's come up with a prong and said, "What do you reckon of these? Are these okay for you?" You know, that's never happened. You know, because they know the chips are, you know, of quality, or you know, of, so I'm reading a comment there. Yeah, so she knew there was something wrong, but she was going to see if I would accept it. Ugh. Anyway, so yeah, I don't know. But the thing, if I see her in again, you know, I'm not going to bother going in if I see her in there again. If she's too bloody stupid to see, you know, notice the difference between fresh and old food. Anyway, so yeah, so that was the so that's the chip shop story. You know, I swear to Christ, you know. Well, the thing is, I don't go in normally looking for trouble, you know. All I want to do at my age, right? I say my age, all I want to do is go into a shop that do a certain service. I want what you're doing. Here is some money. Thank you. Goodbye. That's all I want. I don't want the from the favorite chicken. I don't want the guy to be looking around for 5 minutes, 5, 6, 7 minutes, trying to get me some change. In the meantime, he's got my burger on the counter going cold, and then argue. You know, admittedly, I shouldn't have been eating indoors, but I was so pissed off at waiting so long for my change, so long for my food. Then I've got to get the bus. I was in no mood. I want to fucking stand here and eat my dinner and shut up and leave me to it. That's all I want. I want to go in. I want to go in and buy a bag of chips. I don't want to have to worry about whether they're edible, or whether they'll be sitting there for 3 hours going rock hard. You know, I don't want to have to go into McDonald's and be threatened with calling the police because I'm sitting in the car park at a bench. You know, I'm not in the store spreading the virus. I'm out in the street in the car park. I don't want that shit. I just want to go in, here is some money, give me what it is you're selling, goodbye. Full stop. That's it. Is that too much to ask? I mean, you know, anyway, look, I just can't go nowhere. I swear to Christ, everywhere I go. So anyway, I'm telling people at work some of these stories, and I'm saying I'm running out of places to eat. Honestly, now here's the good news. Here's the silver lining. All right. Again, anybody who you know, please go into Kingston McDonald's and tell him what I've said. It's about approximately 17 minutes in when I was talking about the McDonald's people. By all means, show them. But when I go from the city centre and we go to Kingston, you know, where the McDonald's is and the Tesco and all that other stuff. Right next to McDonald's is a new place, and it's called something Houston's. Houston's. I don't know. It's some fancy right in Houston's. What they are, you know, because it's like at the moment it's like a building site, but it's very close to being. It looks like weeks away from being finished. They're working on the car park right now, but they've got those banners blocking, you know, people from going in and stuff. You know, and basically it shows who the company is, and it shows you some pictures. And it's got some pictures of some muffins, McMuffin, you know, not McMuffins. You know, breakfast muffins. They do a drive-through. They do some donuts. They got this breakfast wrap. You know, basically a tortilla wrap. Oh, if anybody wants to see my version of a breakfast tortilla wrap and whatever, I've done loads of it. Just Mark's Remarks tortilla wrap. You know, I've done loads of them. Anything you can imagine goes into tortilla. But they got pictures of, you know, a nice looking juicy tortilla breakfast wrap. So fuck McDonald's. You know, when that place opens, I'm going to go in there, and as long as I just get the service I want, here's some money, give me what I want, I'm gone. You know, as long as I keep to that format, don't be fucking with me. Just give me some food and here's some money for it, and you know they'll have my custom. Fuck McDonald's. I'm not saying I'll never go in there again. Probably not that particular one in a hurry, but I'll go to other McDonald's because I've never had any problem before. You know, never had the police threatened on me before. But yeah, so I'm going to be going in there, and I'll tell you about that. And I don't know whether they'll be interested in any advertisements, but I'll be willing to, as long as their food's pretty good. See if I can get myself Well, the thing is, with these companies, I talk about promoting. All I want is a free T-shirt because I don't like to buy T-shirts; it costs me money, right? So if I get a free T-shirt with a logo, I think, thank you very much, Johnny's Fish and Chips. Here's their details. Get some free chips and stuff. That's all I need. I tell people, I don't want your money. So when they open, if they're a franchise, I might hit them up for see if they want any advertisements. Also, Seaweed Reacts, North Watford. Oh, it must be talking to somebody else. Bob Matthews, LOL. No way, mate. I'm up by the studio. Oh, I was talking to somebody else. Oh, shit. All right. Seaweed Reacts. Yeah. Oh, there you go. Yeah, my co-op near me doesn't give a crap about masks. No. Mine doesn't either. Even the staff. Sometimes they wear them, sometimes they don't. I go in one time every 10. I'll maybe have a mask on. I don't bother. Nobody enforces the. It's not. I don't think it's even law. I think it's a shop policy. I've told shopkeepers before. I'm not. I'm not into not the co-op, but other places. When you go to Iceland, I used to buy those bottles of vodka mix with fruit juice. They'll only let you buy 4. I used to go in there and buy 6 because I don't want to come back, right? So I want to buy 6, and and they would say, "Oh no, the shop policy," and it's like when you go into Boots and you can only buy 2 boxes of fucking aspirin. You say, "Yeah, but the thing is, if I buy 4, I don't have to come back because I'm fucking ill, right?" And they say, "Oh no, it's I say, look, when they do that, if they say no, you can only buy 4, not 6. You can only buy 2 boxes of aspirin, not 4. I say, look, is it law or shop policy? And they say, oh, it's shop policy. I say, look, I'm not interested in shop policy. Just give me the fucking stuff so I can go. If it's law, I'm not interested in that either, right? But even less so, shop policy. Shop policy is some goof made a rule, which really fucks everybody up. It just messes with you. Why go in? Well, I don't want to make 2 trips to a place. I just want to buy all my stuff in one thing and then go. Anyway. But that's the thing we got here in England. Is that the same as every other country? Do they only let you buy 2 boxes? See, the thing is, also, I've had this out in the co-op. You can buy a box of, say a box of 8 aspirin in the little capsules. 2 of those, 2 boxes of 8, or 2 boxes of 16. What the fuck? It's twice as much, but in half as many packets. But it's the box. It's not the pills. It's how many boxes. Some stupid bastard in England decided to make that law. Only 2 boxes. So what if you buy a bottle of 100 aspirin? You can buy 2 of those, or 2 boxes of 8 aspirin. The same amount of boxes. Beer bong. It is a law to wear one now, but the shops or other places don't have the authority to enforce it. Only the police. You see, I'm sure if I was a policeman, especially with I'm going back to that kid, that goof at McDonald's. Imagine the phone call that, if he phoned, yeah, excuse me, we've got a guy who is eating his food in the street outside our McDonald's. Can you come along and move him away? So it looks sunny. We've got fucking crimes to be dealing with. I'm sure the police have got better things to be doing than chasing people, Although, I mean, you watch American videos, you got people going fucking mad. They lose their minds if you walk into a supermarket without a mask. Over here, not so much, not in my experience. Let's see. Okay. United Till I Die TV. Right. Unlucky on the Trump bet, Mark. He should have won. Well, Has it been, is it official that he hasn't won? Or is it the biased news who are trying to promote the idea that Biden has won, hoping that if they say it often enough, it will turn out to be true? At the start of this live stream, I said that the television news, the biased television news who are working for on the side of Biden, have got no business announcing who has won. The winner hasn't been announced. Full stop. So who the fuck are they to be announcing anybody? It's got to go to court. And then there's all this evidence of fraud, criminal fraud that's going on that has to be ironed out. So it's not yet established that Trump has lost. It's definitely not established that Biden has won. It's only according to the television news, who again are jumping the news. These are the same people who would show video of people burning shops down while describing them as mostly peaceful protesters. Who are you going to believe? You know, anyway, wait until the official verdict. 4x4, I am starving, Mark. What are you cooking for us tonight? Well, indeed. Well, now I've got my camcorder. I may have to be fucking around with the aperture or the light. I don't know. Anybody who watched my 30-second video of me saying, right, I'm going to go live in 20 minutes, did that video look all right? Did the color look fine? Because if not, it looked a bit sort of orangey. You know, if not, I'm going to have to go fucking with the buttons again. But yeah, now that I've got that sorted, I'll tell you, it's I can go back to start making videos now. You know, you know what? Where I work, this is in fact, I'm going to show you. I'm going to be careful because I haven't bothered getting dressed. I'm in my underwear. All right, just give me a sec. Yeah, I don't. I'm actually not my underpants. These are sort of like shorts underwear, you know. Anyway, where I work, okay, sometimes, you know, because businesses are owned by other businesses. John Lewis, I don't know. You know, John Lewis are owned by Waitrose. You know, they own Waitrose. Other companies, they own other companies. You know, two different names. Because they're sort of sister companies, I get loaned out to the other building sometimes to do our work, but in their building. So they're picking cages of food, where I'm in the far end of the building picking flat pack furniture and heavy shit. Anyway, if I'm working down there, I have access to the shop. They have a little room full of stuff where if a box gets broken open, it goes into the shop and you get to go and buy it cheap. I went into the shop and take a look at this. This is what I'm going to be whipping up. I've had this in the fridge for a few days because the camcorder's been fucked, as you know. Okay, this is British beef ribeye steak. It says there. Now, there's the front. There's the back. Can you believe £28.99 per kilo? Fucking hell. So that's nearly £30 a kilo. In the shops, you'd have paid £9.97. So 10 quid. This costs 10 quid in the shops, £30 a kilo. So by that mathematics, you can say that this is 1/3 of a kilo. £9.97 in the shops. Because I bought it staff thing, I paid £2.50. There you go. Because normally I'd never go near a £10 steak. I mean, well, Christ, I'm out of my mind. But you know, normally because of the price, because I'm a tightwad, I'll buy some other steak for or whatever. But you know, and I'm not big on this marbling thing. But I figure I'm going to do something with this. I'm going to. I was thinking about cooking it under the George Foreman grill. You know, which I could do if I could find a way of cutting it down the middle, like open it up like a book or something. I could cook it in the George Foreman grill to explain what it tastes like when you do it under the Foreman grill. Thing is, it's too good a quality to be chopping it up and put it into a stir fry. Okay, I mean it's ribeye steak. I mean this is supposed to be some top quality shit right here, you know. So it's too good to put into a stir fry. Definitely too good to be thrown into a casserole. In a casserole, if you type in Mark's Remarks casserole, you'll see me do lots of casseroles with lots of different types of meat, chicken, pork chop, beefsteak, you know, all cheap cuts, sausages, you know, all cheap stuff. This is way too. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just do it under the George Foreman grill with some roast potatoes and some other stuff, you know. So anyway, yeah, let me know. I mean, if you've got any other ideas, you know, something that I haven't done before, or something, you know, or maybe something I could perhaps cut it in half. Do what, you know, if only anybody got a suggestion I could go in for, and do the other half under the George Foreman. You know, but like I say, it'll be a waste putting this into a casserole. It'll definitely be a waste putting a quality bit of meat into a stir fry or anything else. But yeah, it'd be interesting. You know, ribeye steak. So yeah, so almost 10 quid in the shops. So I got it at a quarter of the price. That's 75% off. I paid 250 for this. Quite a nice chunk of meat, actually. Anyway, right, I'm going to go put this back in the fridge. Yeah, so if I get there, well, sure will. I've been there several times, you know. So yeah, I'm definitely going to try and get in there again. Oh Jesus, because now with the Chinese plague, they're only allowing one person into the room at a time. Before it used to be three, you know, but now one at a time. So there's a bit of a queue sometimes. But when I picked this up, about two or three people in front of me, the girl, big joints of meat, and, you know. Anyway, but that's the thing, you know, rather than just take what she wanted and then figure, I'll come back next time because there'll be more. She just grabbed as much as she fucking could, fucking joints of meat and all kinds of, you know, basically just grab it and fuck everybody else, you know, rather than just take what you want, let somebody else have some. There'll be more next time, you know. So, but no. Anyway, so that was just her. Yeah, so that'd be interesting. So but yeah, because I've had it in the fridge waiting for, you know, the camcorder to be sorted out. Not a troll. Steak, mash, and peas is all you need. Indeed, perhaps not mash, because the reason being, I've got roast potatoes in the freezer. So oh, you know, interesting though. Yeah, yeah, something simple. Steak. You know, well, maybe not steak and chips. Steak and chips is just, you know, anybody can eat chips. Steak, potato, and some mixed veg. Shropshire lass. This comment has jumped. Shropshire lass. Don't cut it up. George Foreman it for 15 minutes. But that's the thing. I want to get if I can get 2 videos out of it, you know, that'd be better than one. I mean, I could just put that under the grill and make a video and say, look, you know, make a steak and chips, you know, steak and potatoes. But if I can do 2 videos, you know, just steak and potatoes and then something else, or maybe, I don't know. Actually, well, the thing is, if I can say if I was to cut it in half, okay, so one steak and potatoes over here. The other half, if I can cut that down the middle, like I describe it, open it up like a book or butterfly, I think they call it. Cook that, maybe put that into a sandwich, a steak, an onion ring sandwich. Yeah, you know, I've got onion rings, I've got hash browns, you know, something like that. So, you know, so there'll be two different meals for people to enjoy me cooking. Uh, you know, because I mean, if you can make 2 videos out of the same product, you know, it's like you know, if I've done that before. If I have a joint of meat I'll try and do 3 different, like you've seen me before. I'll cook a joint of meat, slice them up to make a sandwich. Then the next day, slice them up to put into a stir fry. Then the next day, slice it up and put it in a casserole. But 3 different dishes for the same joint. That's more for your money is what I'm getting at, I suppose. 4x4. What sauce are you having with that steak? Interesting. Well, I've got some apple and date sauce, which I haven't opened yet. I've got some a jar of sauce in the fridge, which is like not sauce, chutneys. Actually, because I actually did a gammon joint a few months ago, where I did a gammon joint with roast potatoes and some selection of veg, and I smothered it all over, I think, with Branston pickle, which was something outside the box, but quite interesting, and it tasted good. So I could use a selection of chutneys rather than pour gravy on it or some kind of sauce. Go for just spread a jar of chutney over the lot. Maybe. Anyway, that's some 4x4. Shropshire Lass and base with butter. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I don't want to submerge. I don't want to sort of, get it too oily and Anyway, but yeah, interesting though. Just try put on. Seaweed Reacts says, or writes, just fry it. A bit of oil, butter, garlic, and rosemary. Yeah, okay. Well, there's the option. I could fry it in the pan. Yeah, flip it over, fry it on the other side, put some potatoes and whatever the hell else. Interesting. Seaweed React, get it medium. No, I like the if I'm gonna eat steak, it has to be well done, bordering on black. In fact, I've gone into pubs and ordered steak dinner, and I go to the counter and I say, look, when you get people who ask for well done steak, I want you to do that and leave it on the grill for another 5 minutes. Okay, I want it black. All right, I like my steak black. It's just something I have eaten medium, not medium rare. Fuck that. I don't like any pink in the middle. Not dealing with that. No. But I have eaten. If I ever go out, and I'll if I go somewhere and it comes out well done, that's fine, as long as it's brown in the middle, no pink. But ideally, I've said to pub cooks, bordering on the verge of a charcoal briquette. Anyway, 2 tablet. What else good stuff fell out of that box? Well, 2 tablet. What else good fell out of that box? Actually, I don't. I'm not sure they're talking to. I don't think you're talking to me, are you? 2 tablet. That's the thing. I have to decide whether I have to decipher rather whether people are talking to each other or talking to me. If you're talking to me, by the way, if you put Mark Shamar or Mark, what do you think it is? Mark, what's your opinion? Put my name on the front, then I'll know you're talking to me. Otherwise, I have to just read it and decipher or decide whether you're talking to me or somebody else. I don't think that was for me, though. Ah, there you go. Not a troll. Just do steak and eggs, the ribeye with 2 fried eggs on top. Actually, that's an interesting idea, because the camera's been fucked for a while. I've decided. You know what I did? I made an omelette. I made an omelette the size of that mini. I've used it before to cook onions. That mini saucepan, the size of a drinks coaster. It's a small, very small frying pan. It's designed to be cooking 1 egg at a time. I made an omelette in there, and it was like an inch thick. It was so I was experimenting with it, and it come out fairly all right. So I could do that with a ribeye steak. Let's see. There was what. There was, oh, there you go. Oh, Jesus, because it jumps around. Bob Matthews writes, read your remarks and stop rambling. Well, thank you very much. Well, the thing is, I am reading and I am rambling. It's kind of a two for one deal. I'm doing both. Oh, you know what I do want to do? I actually looked it up, and there's not many. I actually, what was it? I watched, because I'm going through. I went through the box sets. I've got up to 9 so far. The Walking Dead. Now, there's a scene where one of the baddies, the one with the burnt face and the long blonde hair, he is. I'm not. I don't know what it is. Season 7. I don't know. There's a quick montage of him going through and acquiring the ingredients to make a sandwich. And what he does, he gets some bread, cuts 2 slices. He goes and gets a bit of lettuce. He spreads some mustard on there. He gets a tomato from the garden, cuts that up, puts that on. He gets a fried egg, puts that. I actually made that. And I thought, well, what I'll do, because again, the camera's been fucked, so I haven't been able to film it. I went onto YouTube, and there's only a few of people who have actually recreated that video, and I thought, well, that'd be pretty slick. So I made it, and it's actually not bad. So if anybody wants to remind me over the next week or so, I'll try to recreate that sandwich and film it. It's the one from the Walking Dead sandwich, I guess it's entitled on YouTube. There's that. I made that, and it's really good, and I'll try and do another video. I'll try and make a video of it. And anybody who has seen the movie The Hateful Eight, oh shit, will know about Minnie's haberdashery, when they're all in there and there's a big 10-gallon pot on the fire, and there's a stew cooking in there, and there's a conversation between Samuel L. Jackson and Senior Bob, how he's talking about when Jackson was on the plantation, there was a guy, some fucking, I don't know, some old black fella. He used to make the stew, and I can't remember his name. Somebody remind me if I can't remember. He's talking. Anyway, he was talking about he used to eat this stew from when he was a nipper to a full-grown man. That's how he described it. When this old guy on the plantation used to make the stew, no matter what the meat, the stew always tasted the same. and he says that's the same thing with Minnie's stew. No matter what the meat, the stew always tastes the same. So if Minnie has gone over to meet her mother, like Senor Bob is saying, that means that she didn't cook the stew, which means that somebody else cooked the stew, and it shouldn't taste like Minnie's stew because somebody else has cooked it. And it got me thinking. I mean, that stew looked really good. Oh, when they're at the long dinner table, and it is when Kurt Russell throws that bowl of soup in Jennifer Jason Leigh's face, and they get stew and potato all over her face. When they're eating the stew, that looks so good. And I'm thinking, I've got to try and work out how to make that bloody stew. I've got to figure out what's in it. I mean, because I've made stew lots of times. You've seen Mark's Remarks casserole, Mark's Remarks stew, and they've come out really good, really tasty with the potatoes, the peas, the carrots, the onions, the cauliflower, the broccoli, the Brussels sprout, everything's in there, but it doesn't look like Minnie's stew, So if I can figure out how to do it, I don't know what it is. You got to, I don't know, cook it in there and leave it for 14 hours or something, just like on an open flame. But it looked really good, and if I could, that's the thing. I wish Quentin Tarantino would put that on the extras on the DVD. You know, I'm assuming I haven't got it, but I've got his other films. Well, I'm assuming he hasn't. But you know, if he's watching, Mr. Tarantino, if you would put that, if you would do a little segment of the making of that stew, that would really help me out. Yeah, because so if I can recreate that, if I can find out how to do a really good imitation of Minnie's stew, I'll I'll give that a go. Because I tell you, oh man, that stew looks so good. Let me tell you. But then, if you're in the middle of, if you're freezing to death in a snowstorm, then yeah, you know, basically anything warm would do. But the only thing I can look at it, and figure, well, yeah, there's big chunks of potato. That's about all I can. But so, but him describing it as any meat, you know, no matter what the meat, it always stays the same. So there's meat in there. So now, actually, you could probably work it out, actually, because I mean, basically, you've got meat and vegetables. Okay, so we know because they were plucking the chickens, the feathers. We know that there are chickens on that. You know, in and around the haberdashery. You know, because there's a stables next door. There's the crap a bit further along, and there's the big haberdashery. We know they've got chickens on the property. It's possible that they have a cow, maybe a pig, although we don't see any of this, but it's possible, you know. So at the very least, you've got chicken. Okay. If they've done a deal with somebody, maybe a leg of beef, but at the very least, chicken, and you've got, you know, vegetables. So you're going to have definitely potatoes, possibly corn, sweet corn, you know, peas. So these are the very easy things to grow and also get shipped in. Every time a stage wagon shows up with some customers, there could be some fresh, you know, produce on there. So, well, fuck it, I'll just make up my own one. I'll put whatever veg happens to be in the freezer. I know I've got broccoli, I've got cauliflower, Brussels sprouts. I've got, you know, loads of other shit. Anyway, so so yeah, so that's another option. You know, I want to make a video of that maybe if I can work that out. So I hope that's enough rambling for you, Bob Matthews. Anyway, yeah, people complain. What the hell? You know, it doesn't cost you anything to listen. People complain about waffling on. Adam Sebsoy. Adam Sebsoy. Mark, what happened to the tomato plants? You never made any more videos of them. Well, that's the thing. I mean, I made a bunch of videos. You know, the different stages of growing. What I did, I trimmed them, and I basically I found a couple of guys who you know, had some use for it, so I gave it to them. I still got the plants. I got one growing, which is about 10 inches tall, needs to be repotted. One of them looks like it's dead. The other two are hanging on. You know, if you look at the old videos of mine, you remember there was one with completely green and purple leaves, just huge leaves, no fuck all else on it. Christ knows what's going on with that one. But that one's still alive. Yeah, I might do a follow-up one. Thing is, when I do those videos, some asshole keeps complaining. Not that I mean, even though I demonetize them myself, knowing that YouTube are going to demonetize, I just figure, fuck it, well, I'll load it, demonetize it. I get people complain to YouTube. The YouTube write to me saying, you know, we're putting, you know, this is not eligible for any adverts, or we're putting limited adverts on it. And I write back and say, I know, that's why I demonetized it myself. Anyway, so, but yeah, I'll probably do another one. I am waffling on, aren't I? Tomato plants, Seaweed reacts. Is there a Mrs. Remarks? No, there is not a Mrs. Remarks. He wrote the Selsby Sawyers wrote the same message again. Juices from the steak drain into the mash. Oh, I see. Right, not a troll says the juices from the steak drain into the mash. Yeah, well, that's the thing. I don't have any mash. I could make mash from raw potatoes, I guess, cooking the potatoes, boiling them. But I've got a boat. I've got a load. I've got bags of roast potatoes. It'd be simpler just to use those. Although I could do a video on how to make mash. I've never really made mash potatoes before. Could do a video of it. Don't put not a troll. Don't put a decent steak into a sandwich. No, well, see, that's the thing. I mean, it's a good piece of meat, a lot better than the cheap ass meat that I would normally buy. So I want to do something special. I want to, cook a portion of it under the grill, on the George Foreman grill, potatoes and veg, to show off the grill. Basically, I want to get at least 2, possibly 3 videos out of it. So if I do a little bit under the grill, George Foreman, maybe that's all right. I mean, I'm thinking of making a sandwich with some different chutneys. But basically, I'm trying to do 3 different versions of a meat dish. I mean, you're right. It would be a waste to put it in a sandwich, but then I've got to try and make. I've got to try and make 2. If I can make 3 videos, even better. Shropshire Lass, it'll be like leather then. I'm not sure. Are you talking about the George Foreman grill? Yeah. Well, the thing is, I do like well done. Yeah, you see, 4x4 steak in a double wrap with barbecue sauce. You see, the thing is, pretty much any dish that you do will be a waste of a good piece of meat. I mean, that piece of meat would cost me a tenner in the shop. Can you believe that? A tenner for a fucking, So anything I do with it will probably be a waste of good meat. Because you figure, well, you can use cheap ass meat in a casserole, use cheap meat in a stir fry. You can use the lesser cuts in a sandwich, cover it with cheese, tomato, and chutney. The only way to, I think the only way to get the full effect of it is to basically cook the steak and have it as is with potato and veg to get the full effect of a quality piece. But I'm torn. But well, that's the thing. I mean, this is a channel where I do cooking, so it doesn't make even if I have half a steak or 1/3 of a steak with potato, I still have the same effect. I can say, look, this is how the Foreman grill works and how it cooks it. But I can, make other dishes. So yeah, pretty much, no matter what you do, is going to be a waste of an expensive cut. Jack Hadrich, no, I haven't got the fucking. It should have arrived on the 2nd. So now it is 13 days over. Fuckers, They wrote back to say, have patience. Unfortunately, because of the battery, we can't send it by plane. It has to be sent by boat, and because of the Chinese plague, that's fucking things up for everybody. Have patience, they're saying. But I mean, we're 13 days over. So I mean, they better supply some fucking compo for this bullshit. Once I get it though, I'll find a way. I mean, I gotta go. Once I get it, I'll buy a crash helmet and I'll find a way of sellotaping that camcorder onto the crash helmet, or onto the dashboard of the, and then do some videos of whipping around town. Not a troll, says Branston, have just released a new range of chutney. Interesting. Because I do like the chutney. And I've lost that comment. Let's see that. 4x4. A steak that size in the George Foreman grill takes about 9 minutes each side. Well, that's the thing. It cooks from both sides at once, you see. Although I do flip it over because one side seems to be cooking faster than the other. I can't spell right now. Oh, not troll. Right, yeah, not trolls is the Branston chutney. Yeah, as long as they're not too expensive, I might have a look at that. Okay. Oh, I'm feeling the effect of the vodka. So when I'm reading long questions here, it's a bit of a thing, a bit of a problem to focus. Shadow Friend 180. Mark, you have plain white rice. You can only add 2 ingredients. Oh, I see. I think if I had plain rice, with plain rice, and you can only add 2 ingredients, what will you add for me? I'd add hot sauce and chicken, peri chicken. Interesting. Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about vegetables. Okay, but yeah, if I had plain rice with 2 ingredients, like you say, yeah, definitely a meat. Which the easiest one and cheapest one perhaps would be chicken. So to be chicken in there. Chicken with anything really. I mean, if I had one vegetable to add to it, I would, I'd be happy with chicken and sweet corn in rice, chicken and peas in rice, chicken and broccoli in rice, chicken with Brussels sprouts in rice. Anything, I mean, I've done these stir fries before where I added 4 or 5 different ingredients. I mean, I've done a chicken stir fry with peas, with carrots, with broccoli, with sweet corn, with cauliflower, Brussels sprouts, thrown them in, you know. But yeah, and if I only have 2, one of each, the meat would be chicken probably. It's easy to cook. It's very, it's quite versatile, and any one of 6 different vegetables that I regularly use. But if you were talking, but if I had 2 ingredients, 2 vegetable ingredients to add, if I had meat with 2 vegetables, it would be peas and broccoli probably, or peas and sweet corn, something. Seaweed reacts. Mark, would you let not a troll tickle you? Mark, would you let not a troll? Oh, not a troll, not a troll. The user. Oh, Jesus. Shit. Oh boy. Yep, George C has seen The Hateful Eight. Good film. It is one of the few really good films where you can actually watch on YouTube. If you watch a lot of films get taken down, or they're too new to be taken down because they're too new. Copyright issues, but yeah, if you type in type in The Hateful Eight, you might have to watch it in 10 segments. Each one 10 or 15 minutes long. But I've watched it 6 or 8 times. Man, it is a great film. And one of those films, I mean, when I watched it for the first or second time, I'm looking at it, I'm watching the film. And like I say, it's one of those, sometimes you see things in the second viewing which you don't see in the first, because the first time you're watching the story, you're trying to understand who's doing what and who's who. The second time, you know what the story, like most of you, the second time you're watching it through, you know the storyline. Now you're watching faces. You're watching people's reactions to other people's dialogue. And you can see that when, it was especially with Jennifer Jason Leigh when she's interacting with Tim Roth's character, Oswaldo Mowbray, the hangman, who's, her reaction to his dialogue is interesting because she knows who he really is, and she's listening to this shit that's coming out of him doing his accent, his really thick English accent, pretending to be the hangman. So her reaction, and of course, and Kurt Russell has no idea of her reaction to his stuff because he's thinking that he's the handmaid. So yeah, it is a good film, and you can watch it on YouTube, and it's one of those where you can watch it several times. There are a few inconsistencies, um, at the very beginning, it's like you've got when the stagecoach meets Samuel L. Jackson, you've got the coach driver, you've got Kurt Russell, Jennifer Jason Leigh. They're in the cabinet. Then shows up Samuel L. Jackson. He's got 3 dead bodies. One shit. What did I say? The coach driver, Jennifer Jason Leigh, Kurt Russell, then Samuel L. Jackson, and then 1, 2, 3 dead bodies. Then the guy Goggins, who plays Maddox. That's 8 people in and on top of the wagon being drawn through the snow. It just sounds like a lot of weight for a horse team to be dragging at speed through the snow over a long distance. It just seems like a lot. I don't know. This simple, Okay, right. I'm going to get back to the. Well, would you let a George C. George C's seen the Hateful Eight? Yeah, I watched it. Oh, it's. In fact, I might watch it tonight. It's getting a bit late. Yeah, you see, Simon there says steak boiled in cabbage, or boiled in cabbage water, and served up with bubble and squeak with a blob of brown sauce on the side. Yeah, you see, that might work, except this is a £10 steak, so it's. It might. I mean, boiled meat, maybe. I don't think I've really had it, but I heard it's a thing. But see, that's the trouble. Like I was mentioning before, anything you do with a £10 steak is going to be a waste of money, or a waste of an opportunity to do something really nice with a £10 steak. But I'll do a bit under the foreman. I'll probably end up doing a fucking stir fry or a sandwich with it, just to get 3 videos out of it. But I mean, the thing is, for those dishes, I could do with a cheaper meat. But interesting though, boiled in cabbage. Yeah, because the meat, the juices from the meat will infuse with the vegetables cooking in with the cabbage, the stuff. 4x4 says boiled beef and carrots. Seaweed Rex, do you reckon McDonald's has a farm called 100% British beef and that's why they get away with it? Actually, that's interesting. Yeah, actually, I never thought of that. Because when people say our meat is from 100% British beef. Yeah, if you was to name the farm this farm is called 100% British beef, then effectively you're telling the truth. Interesting, though. Not a troll. I love your ramblings, Mark. You speak what you think. Very few people have the intestinal fortitude, I guess, to do that nowadays. Don't let the bastards grind you down. Indeed. In fact, I had this very conversation with somebody the other day we were working on the conveyor belt where the packers are packing stuff down the conveyor. And I'm doing several things, and I'm jumping on the line sometimes. And I was talking to the guy about the voting and educating the youngsters. It's amazing. The young people, the 18-year-olds, are convinced that Trump's a racist. And but because they believe the shit that they're hearing on the telly. But I was saying to one guy, I said, I was talking about my live streaming about nothing. Blackface. No, the world hasn't ended. Nothing bad's going to happen to the world. Yeah, and I was saying to this this young fella, you know, that at my age, no, I keep referring to my age. You know, I'm the type of person who I have an opinion, and I like to voice my opinion. I have very little regard for PC behavior. You know, I don't call black people colored. I don't call black Kamala Harris as the first woman vice president, first woman of color. I don't fucking go for that. The person's black, okay? In actual fact, it's funny. I was having a guy, having a conversation with this guy. He was white, and I pulled in this young black kid. Right, he looked about 17 or so. He was, you know, in between college courses, I guess, he was working with us. And I was saying, you know, inviting the black kid in specifically with a question because we were talking about my black face. I said, look, I couldn't help noticing that you are black. Would you come over for a sec? You know, what is your opinion? Are you easily offended by this black face, what they call blackface? And he's like, you know, I said, are you the type to go, you know, running with your hands in the air? You know, I'm offended. I'm offended. Oh, fucking hell. You know, and he said, no, not really. I'm not the guy to all get up. So that's why I asked him, because I mean, I've noticed in the past, if you actually go, don't go to the ones who are jumping on the bandwagon. Say, yeah, I'm offended by this. This person said this. This person, that I'm offended by blackface. I'm offended by these black jokes. I'm offended. Some of them, they're just professional fucking victims, all right? But if you ask an honest to God black person off the street and say, are you offended by, you know, most of them ones I've spoken to, no, not at all. I don't give a shit. I'll just fucking get on with what I'm doing, you know? And yeah, we was having a good conversation, and I said to the kid, you know, I said to him, you know, that's precisely what I thought you might say, you know, that you're not offended, you don't give a shit, you know, you're not interested, because and I said to him, you know what I've noticed about the stupid white motherfuckers, which I'll say that about whiteys because I'm allowed to, because I'm white. Stupid white motherfuckers, when they come along, and I said to him, what us white people like to do is get offended on behalf of. You know, because basically what I said to him was, basically what they're saying is, you as a black person are too stupid to be offended. You don't know you're being made fun of, and you're too dumb to realize. So it's up to us whiteys to come along and be offended on your behalf. And I said, that is fucking wrong. You know, if you're offended, then you can be offended. But having white people come along and be offended for you when you don't give a shit, now that is wrong, and that is what I don't like in society. I don't like PC talk. I don't like PC behavior, because it is all horse shit. So I don't go for it, and I'm glad that people appreciate a good, honest to God expressing my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, that I have opinions that are not very popular to some people. Okay, there are some black people I'm not big fans of, and there are white people I'm not big fans of, and I will say stupid white motherfuckers, you know, when I'm referring to them, because they are stupid, they are white, and they're dumb fucks, you know. You know, there are people I like and there are people I don't like, you know. It's no big secret I'm no big fan of the foreigners, but that's but you know, and then I'm allowed to say that, I feel. There are some I get on with, you know. It's not all of them I'm got a problem with, but yeah, you know, white people need to stop being offended for other people. You know, just stop. You know, if you know, if they're offended, that's great. They can do that, and they can speak up. Oh, I'm offended. I don't like that, and then they can, you know, they can do what they like. But yeah, if you're a white person, just fucking stop. Okay. Okay, so that's not a troll. Yeah, but it's liking my ramblings and the straight talk. I wish there was more of that around. You know, I mean, I'll deviate for a second there. I've it hasn't happened for a while, but I've mentioned this a few times on the YouTube. Years ago, This has happened to me bunches of times when you're talking with somebody and they're talking. Who's a black guy? Okay, yeah, he was doing this with his garden, and yet as soon as Bill Burr did a joke about that. As soon as they say, you know what's coming, they're going to be talking about a black guy or a foreigner. And it's fucking pathetic, Just stop it. And it's funny. It's stupid to watch. It's funny. It's funny because it's so bloody stupid, but it's pathetic, really. When you have to think, oh shit, I don't want to offend anybody. Yeah, the black guy, just talk. Black people don't mind being called black. Well, most of them, I guess. You've got your ones who like to be called African American because it makes them sound special, okay, or person of color. But you talk to a regular black guy, they don't mind being referred to the black guy. Or you're a black guy, aren't you? Yeah. What's your opinion? Ask them their fucking opinion. Don't assume that being a white guy, what their opinion is. Fucking ask them. That's what I do. I've done that plenty of times. I've been in a conversation with somebody. Hey, come over here. Listen, you're a black guy. What's your opinion on this bullshit? This. Just ask them. They don't mind. Anyway. Billy S. I'm like 12 minutes behind. Billy S. I'm like 12 minutes behind you. Should do a mini mix grill with a steak. Interesting. Mini mix grill. You see, that's the kind of thing I could do with 1/3 of the steak. I don't need a big piece of steak, especially a fucking 10-pound steak, right? I could do, a mini grill. I could have 1/3 of the steak. I'm trying to think because I went to Iceland the other day and I bought only meat products because I've got two freezers, one for meat products and one for vegetable bags of veg, right? Because I hate having to pull out 12 bags of vegetables to find the bloody, chicken nuggets in the bottom, right? So I have one freezer and the second freezer, I'm trying to think. Not Iceland. I went to Farm Foods. That was it. They're like a mini version of Iceland. I've got some ribs. I've got some big ribs. A big row of ribs, rack of ribs. I've got some chicken pieces. I've got a whopping big bag of chicken breasts, for like a $5. I could do that, yeah. I could do a portion of the steak. Find out whatever the fuck else I've got in the fridge. I don't think I've got any sausages. But yeah, I could do, if I got some other stuff, do a few hash browns, do a scrambled, fried egg. Do a few, onion rings, shit like that. Yeah, mixed grill. That's interesting. I bet you get a mix of everything then. All right. Anybody, by the way, not hit the thumbs up? If you like what I'm talking about and you like being around, you like the channel, hit the thumbs up. I don't know what it does. It probably helps with the algorithm bullshit that YouTube do. It helps me. Oh, thank you. Somebody just hit the thumbs up there. An extra one. So you won't get any more. It just helps you, helps the channel be more. What's the word? It pushes it to the front of the line or up the list. Okay. Anybody else not done it? There you go. There's your chance. Okay, I've got quite a lot of people watching. It's doing all right today. Okay, see what I also got. Right, that was what was that? Oh Jesus, it was I think that was Billy S. This thing is really screwed, I'm trying to inch. Boiled beef, Simpsons reference. There you go. Right, that was Billy S. Oh, Rent-A-Ghost, 1975. Hello, I haven't heard from you for a while. Hello, Mark. Long time no see. There you go. Hope you are keeping well. Can we look forward to a recipe video soon? Indeed, yeah. The reason why I haven't is because my old camcorder's fucked. It wasn't charging. It wasn't allowing me to, anyway. Anyway, so I went out and got a new one and trouble is, because the trouble is, when you buy a new camcorder, you actually need some computer knowledge, which I don't have. Oh man, I'm fucking useless. So it's not a case of, what I need is a computer, for basically 5-year-olds, right? I want to be able to put the lead in the camera, in the computer, press, download. But no, there's all sorts of going onto pages and going back, and it's like you've got your video file, and you got to drag and drop this over here. So I need something. Anyway, so I made some extensive notes, step by step, like I did with the last one. These are different steps. But yes, so now I can start making some videos. Trouble is, I'm working quite a lot now because I'm doing a 2 till 10. So it'll mostly have to be before I go to work if I have the time. But because I'm working a lot, it seems to be, I only get, at the moment I'm getting 2 days off, which seem to be during the week. But I'll do what I can. Shropshire Lass says, serve the steak topped with melted blue cheese. Yeah, interesting. I'm not a big fan of this stinky ass cheese that they, the blue bits and the green bits and all kinds of, multicolored shit. I do like cheddar, and I've gone for the mature cheddar now. Interesting though. But yeah, I mean, if I do make a sandwich, it'll only, with a small bit. If I do make a sandwich, then I'll put some cheese in there, put a few things in there. But it'd be most likely sort of cheddar. Where are we? Topped with melted cheese. Yeah, not a troll says if the meal is good, it's a shame. Where's it gone? It's a shame to mask it with mask the flavor. It's a shame. That's why I don't really want to put that good piece of steak in a stir fry or in a casserole. But I'll try and do, because you just mask it. You just use cheap shit for that. But I'll try. I'll make some interesting stuff. Billy S writes, steak maybe like 1/3 or a half. Sausage, bacon, eggs, chips, and some peas would be fucking lovely. Yeah, but I mean, I don't think I've got any sausages. I haven't got any bacon. I'll have to buy some eggs. I'm not sure about the chips. I haven't got fuck all. I've got loads of stuff in the freezer, but it's all none of that. Anyway, but what I'll do, I'll basically make I'll do that. I'll probably do a chicken breast just to fill up the plate. Oh, you know what I do have? I bought some sausages. I bought a tray of sausages that are wrapped in bacon. They're like mini sausages. I bought some of those. Oh, there you go. So I can do steak. I can do sausages wrapped in bacon. Then some, fried eggs, some hash browns, some onion rings. There you go. So I'll make something. Not a troll. If I only had plain rice and I had 2 ingredients, I'd probably move back to the West. Aha, that was a racism. I don't get it. Anyway. Okay. Now, there you go. It's an interesting one. Rob Marshall, what's your favorite movie quote of all time? You know what? You see, now that, thank you, Rob Marshall. I do like the feedback that everybody's sending. People writing comments and questions. But when I get a like that is interesting because it makes me think, and it's different than the normal questions. What is your favorite movie quote? Well, I do remember a lot of movie quotes. As such, I know I don't often use them. I do sometimes throw in movie quotes into a conversation, and it usually goes way above people's heads. But what the one I do use a lot is not a movie quote; it's a sitcom quote. It's from Fawlty Towers, And when I'm talking about, say, people, troublemakers, the blue-haired brigade, the green and fucking orange-haired people, the rioters in America, or rioters if we have riots in England, which we sometimes do. I'll whip out the Fawlty Towers Basil Fawlty quote, where I'll say, "This is just how Nazi Germany started. A bunch of layabouts running around with nothing else better to do than to cause trouble." There you go. I like to use that quite a lot. Thank you to Fawlty Towers for that. That's what I use to basically describe any troublemakers. This is just how Nazi Germany started. I love using that line. But as for movie quotes, I do remember a lot, and I do use some, but I don't really I'm not really can't really think of one off the top of my head that I use. I mean, sometimes I'll just remember a movie quote because it fits in with the conversation that we're having. But I can't think of one of those. But that Fawlty Towers one is one that I use quite regularly. So that was Bob Marshall. Thank you. That's a very good question. Rob Marshall, not Bob Marshall. Rob Marshall. What's your favorite? Right, Jack Hadridge. What's your favorite burger from McDonald's? And your favorite or your favorite burger from McDonald's and your favorite milkshake. I think that's 2 words flipped around. But my favorite burger is the Big Mac. The only 2 burgers, well, there's 3 burgers. Occasionally I'll buy a cheeseburger. If I just want to get in there, buy 3 cheeseburgers and piss off and eat them, if I'm in a hurry. But my favorite burger is the Big Mac. And what I do, a little handy hint, when it comes in the cardboard box, I take the top off, open up the 4 corners so it's flat. The lid has been turned into flat, put it on and flatten it down. So it's like half, and then take it up and it's a lot easier to eat because now it's only like 1 inch thick. It's a lot easier to eat. So Big Mac is my favorite, followed by the fish fillet, which apparently is the least popular burger in McDonald's. They only brought it out all those years ago so they could be open on Sundays. I think it was a Sunday opening trading. They couldn't be open on Sundays unless they did a fish meal. I believe that's the reason. So that's why they brought out the fillet, as far as I understand. So a Big Mac and a fillet. And the favorite milkshake. Well, actually, my favorite milkshake would be the strawberry. But I used to go to when I finished night shift years ago. I used to go to McDonald's as soon as it opened. I used to finish at 6. They open at 6, so I'd get there like 1:30 or something. I'd go in and I'd ask for a strawberry milkshake, and it was, it's like when it's been sitting there all night, and all the goodness has filtered down to the bottom of the milkshake container, and you'd have a really strong strawberry flavored milkshake. Man, that would be my favorite. But also what I used to like to do until the assholes at the Kingston McDonald's in Milton Keynes, they stopped doing it because, what I used to do was to go in and say, look, can I have 1 milkshake, half chocolate, half banana? Great, And they'd be like, as I say, look, listen, every McDonald's does it. Just fucking do. And then they come up with a reason that it's something to do with the count. When they pour a strawberry milkshake, there's a count. A certain amount of liquid, that's 1 milkshake, and then when they start doing half and half, it fucks up the count. But I don't know, I think they're lying. I just think they can't be fucking bothered. But that used to be what I used to like doing. Half chocolate, half banana. That would be my favorite milkshake, but then they stopped because they're fuckers. Benny. Oh, yeah. 4x4 says Benny Hill always said that Chinese food is rubbly. Yeah, that's the thing. They have trouble with their R's, the Chinese. I used to, thing is, I used to sometimes go into my local Chinks and ask for an egg fried rice, and they knew I was taking the piss out of them. So, I was hoping it would go like over there, but no, they knew. They didn't like that at all. Egg fried rice. George C. Very true about the extra details on the watching it several times. Oh, yeah. I think you're talking about the Hateful Eight. Yeah, love the Oswaldo Mowbray name and character. You know what? The thing is with Tarantino, what he does is he'll take details, he'll take scenes, he'll take dialogue, he'll take names from dozens of other movies and employ them in his films. That Oswaldo Mowbray, that name has been used before. I watched a movie and for the life of me, I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but I was watching a movie and the character's name was Oswaldo Mowbray. And I thought, fuck me, that's where he got it. It's where he got the name. And I can't remember what it is, but yeah, there's another movie, probably a Western, I don't know, but the name Oswaldo Mowbray was a character's name, which he lifted and used for this. But yeah, if you and the other thing I noticed was when you've got the outside of the scene where they get off the stagecoach and they're banging on the door and you can hear shouting from the inside, push it open, the door's stuck, it's nailed shut, you've got to push it open. Then they go in. Later on, you see the same scene from the people on the inside's point of view. So now you've got Bruce Dern from camera. When you're looking at the camera, or through the camera, you're looking at the front door, Bruce Dern on the left, and whatever the fuck his name is on the right. Actually, I think by that time it's Tim Roth, Oswaldo Mowbray. And you hear Oswaldo Mowbray shouting, "You've got to kick it open!" Doing the same scene, but from the inside looking. Look at Bruce Dern. When he's sitting there, is in the fireplace, looking at the two characters and looking beyond them is the front door. You look at Bruce Dern, the old guy, the general, he looks at camera and he's looking, just a quick look. I think he does it twice. While they're screaming to keep the door open, he looks at it just out the corner of his eye. He looks at camera 2 times, which is strange because normally you don't see that, them looking at camera. Because really he's actually looking into the fire. That's where the fire is. But but from our point of view, they've had to put the camera in there. So well, watch that next time round, and you'll see him it's just a sly look. Because you've got Tim Roth screaming, "Kick it open, kick it open." It's almost as if he's looking at the camera. Are you going to fucking this? Or, is he going overboard? Or, so what, it's almost he's at the corner of his eye. He's looking at the director. He's getting a bit, I don't know. It's just a quick look. But have a, see if you notice that. Okay, Seedweed reacts with a lot of rainbows. Not trolls, it's cabbage water. Oh yeah, beef and cabbage water. I've heard of that. I mean, I use the vegetable. If I'm cooking cabbage or whatever veg, I throw it all in the same pan, boil it up, get the vegetables out, and use the water for the gravy. Oh, I tell you, I've used cider. Some of my videos, if you look back at my early videos, I've actually used cider instead of water to mix with gravy mix. It actually works. Just get some cheap piss cider, pour it in a pan, boil it, and then use that to mix with gravy granules. It works. 4x4 must go. Strain McGreens. Oh, must be having a late dinner. All right, 4x4, thank you for joining us. And see you in the next one. Oh, that's interesting. Not a troll says British beef back in colonial times. Says even if it was raised in Africa, would be technically British. That's interesting, actually. Yeah, because we assume that it is you call it British because it's raised and grown up in Britain. But yeah, but effectively, what about all the English and British colonies? Like in India, Australia. If a cattle was born and raised there, it might still be called British because it's a British colony. Yeah, interesting point, though. Seaweed React says, I'm black, Mark, and I approve. Yeah, I think, let's see. Okay, actually, you've got two different subjects there. And you go on to say you're 23 and miss watching shows like Fawlty Towers. Yeah, they only made about, I think, 12 episodes or something. Really, really low amount. Yeah, and apparently he approves. I think I'm saying he. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know whether that's the stuff I was talking about earlier about offended on behalf of, but yeah, interesting enough. It's good. Yeah, just anyway, 23, and yeah, that's good that you're 23 and you like Fawlty Towers, because I tell you that is some quality show. Yeah, and I love using that line about this is just how Nazi Germany started. It's such a bloody great line, and I use all the time when I'm talking about the rioters and troublemakers. Okay, we got people talking amongst themselves. Not a troll says. We've lost it. Somebody, I can't find it now. Offence is subjective, or offence is subjective. It's true. Because yeah, I mean, personally, I mean, I can't abide people who get offended at blackface or anything regarding that, because I don't go out kicking and screaming and running around with my hands up in the air about movies like White Chicks. You got two black actors dressed up as white schoolgirls. That's a movie. I don't get offended by that. Well, fuck it. Well, what do I care? So why would anybody else get offended at somebody painting themselves black? Besides, I mean, that's been going on for ages. I mean, Eddie Murphy did that in the 80s. He dressed himself up for a sketch. He dressed himself up as a white man going out on the street, and the idea was that he would go and observe white people interacting with black people from the perspective of a white man. That's what the gag was. And then you would see how white people react to black people while they're listening, and then listen to white people react to black people when they're not around. How the joke was how they act different, and this kind of thing. But yeah, he did it. So that was Eddie Murphy. You've had what's that other one? That English black man, Lenny Henry. He's done it. I think he's done it. Am I talking my? Yeah, so anyway, I want to get off that and get on to some other stuff. 4x4. In what movie did they say Custer was a pussy? I don't know, but I've watched a few shows where the idea was that Custer wasn't as great as everybody. Deadwood was one of them. Not a troll. Not a troll. Seaweed reacts. I'm always talking to somebody. Oh, hello. I didn't notice the thumbs up has jumped a little bit as well. Seaweed, if you like singing, I also have a channel as well. Not a troll, just watching your noodles unboxing. Yeah, I must be talking to somebody. Yeah, mind you, if anybody works in a pot noodle factory, by all means, see if they'll. I'll review. I'll review all your flavors because there's only one flavor that I really eat, but I'll be willing to test drive all the other flavors. You know, if you want some free publicity in exchange for a box load of pot noodles, or anybody else who works in a food. If you work in a food company, on a say a line where they produce biscuits, you know, chicken snacks, uh, any of that stuff. See if the management will, send me a box in exchange for some publicity. There must be somebody out there working in a factory where they do that. George C. Chinese people find it very hard to say squirrel. Squirrel. Interesting. I didn't know that. Seaweed wrapped fry ice. Yeah, because they can't say fried rice. I hear it as fried rice. Fried rice. George C has to sign off now. Having a good one, Mark, and the people in the chat. Thank you very much to everybody. Yeah, thank you, George C, for showing up. If you missed any of the beginning, you can always watch it on the rerun. I've come up. I'm up to almost 2.5 hours now. 2 hours 27 minutes in a few seconds. So you can always watch it from the. Oh Jesus, he's jumping around. All right, so thank you to George C. 4x4 says Oswaldo was the hangman. Yeah. In Hateful Eight, his name was English Pete, but they ended up probably murdering Oswaldo Mowbray, and he was pretending to be Oswaldo Mowbray. Yeah, that name was used in another movie. I should have wrote it down. Jacob Tube is in the house. Hello to you. Hello. What's this? Jacob Tube says 25 likes and an advert. That's the thing. When I'm doing a live, I can't put any adverts on there. If adverts show, that's YouTube's doing. After the fact, I can put some ads, which I will do, and hopefully people are just. What I'll do, if anybody wants to help the channel, what I'll do, I just let the ads play. I won't put ads on which will stop the live stream in order to play the videos. I do that sometimes on the cookery ones, just to try and get some ads in there, because that's how I pay for stuff to cook in the first place, to make videos, right? So what I'll do, I'll only put the ads on here which flash up, a little caption or little picture. I won't put the ones that stop the ad, stop the video. So if everybody wants to help, just let them play, and I can, put a few coins in a pot, and then I can make some videos. And that's how I, buy stuff for the cookery side. Anyway, so that's Jacob Tube. Mad Maz 49. Can you ever see there being a black prime minister? I think it may happen one day. Well, that's the thing. It's funny because we've never, mind you, the Americans never had one until Obama. The thing is, it probably will. We've had one woman prime minister, Margaret Thatcher. Yeah, I think it probably will. It's bound to. What we don't want is the gays getting in. No, but black, yeah, I could probably deal with that. But yeah, it is bound to happen. Yeah, 4x4, make a cold dipped salad. Isn't that from Faulty Towers as well? Or am I? No. That's a Waldorf salad in Faulty Towers. Where's Cold It salad from? It's interesting. 4x4 chat is well slow. Yeah. There you go. Funky Spectrum. What do you think of the ZX Spectrum? I have no idea what that is. It sounds like a computer thing. I don't know. Okay, somebody probably sound more English than somebody from Seaweed. Have you watched any? Not a troll, Mark. Have you watched any Alistair Williams? Alistair Williams. You know what? At the top of my head, I don't know who that is. Alistair Williams. See, the thing is, I'm working quite a lot. I'm watching a lot of YouTube videos on the American election, kind of, trying to keep up with that. I don't know who this guy Williams is. Yeah, counts. Funky Spectrum. Theresa May counts as a woman too. Well, sure, there are women in politics, but what I was referring to was prime minister. We've had one woman prime minister. We've never had a black as prime minister. So the question was, do I think it would happen? And probably will. But yeah, Theresa May wasn't prime minister. Not as far as I know. Or was she? No, not that I know. The vodka is getting to me. No, I don't. I'm not sure if you. I think she was 4x4. How about Eva prawn sauce? Eva prawn sauce. Right. Oh, not a troll says he's a right-wing comedian from the UK. Well, that's the thing. I haven't watched a lot of comedy stuff. Some mothers do have them. From Seaweed Reacts. Yeah, I remember that show. In fact, you remember that goof that used to be in Some Mothers, the tall skinny guy. His screen wife is actually Edward Woodward's real wife. Edward Woodward from the Equalizer TV show. Oh, Funky Spectrum, but she was prime minister too. Oh, all right. Maybe she may well have been, but there was a time when they would do. There was a time when I stopped watching the news altogether because it was fucking pissing me off. What with the Brexit people and I just stopped watching the news for a long time, which is not something I was comfortable with. I like watching the news and finding out, although I don't like watching the biased news when it's totally blatant. But yeah, there was a time when I stopped watching news altogether, and I was, so maybe she slipped in. Adam Halfrey, have you watched any of the George Trump YouTube videos by Scott Gregg? No, I haven't, but not Scott Gregg, but I've been watching a lot of. There are a few channels I watch. I like watching Salty Cracker. He's very good. In fact, the funny thing is, Salty Cracker looks exactly like a guy at work. And I said to the guy at work, you really ought to check this guy out. He talks some good stuff and he looks just like you. He couldn't be fucking bothered to watch. Even though you go to the guy and says the guy's a spitting image of you. He looks just like him. Those are the three I like to watch. Oh, Theresa May says, oh, Betty. Yeah, that was his catchphrase. Frank Spencer was the character, wasn't it? Oh, Betty. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Not a troll. I'll actually I'll try and look him up. Peter B. Melvin Hayes. Now that name sounds familiar. Where do I know that from? Melvin Hayes. You can. Jack Haydrich. Seaweed. Oh, we're talking about seaweed. You don't say arcs. It's a miracle. Yeah, people are talking amongst themselves. Right. Oh, I tell you, my knees are because I'm sitting and my knees are bent in a sitting position. When I straighten them, it's actually a bit of a chore. Once I get moving, I'm all right. Can you, Funky Spectrum? Can you give me a shout out, please, mate? Can you say shout out to Funky Spectrum from the Harris House crew? There you go. Shout out for you. And right, I'm going to call it a day. Bit of a shame because I've got loads of look at that. I've got loads of people watching. I'll tell you what. Look, since I've got such a big crowd of all right, what I'll do, I'll give it say another 23 minutes or so until it's I've been going 2 hours 36, almost 2:37. If there's enough questions and comments for me to fill in the next 25 minutes, I'll go to 3 hours and then I'll have to call it a day because I want to eat and then have a lay down. So if anybody's got any comments or stuff they want to put through, and also keep in mind, I mean, if anybody owns a company, I mean, I'm shameless, trying to, for want of a better word, haul myself out here. If anybody has a food company or works in a food company who wants some sponsorship, by all means, get in contact. I'll wear your T-shirt. I'll promote your channel, your food products, your phone number, your food, whatever they, your company name. I'll just, and I'll wear your T-shirt while I'm doing it, and all for some free shit. That's all I'm looking for. It's I'll do it for some free stuff. That's all I know. That's all I'm wanting. Which are Last Orders? Actually, Last Orders was the name of a movie with Michael Caine and a whole bunch of old fuckers 20 years ago. Last Orders, it was called. That was back when I had a video shop. That was how long that film's. Theresa May, what do you plan on eating? I don't rightly know. I could do a stir fry, but I mean, I'll have to. Oh, actually, I was going to say I'll have to wash up the wok. I could use a frying pan, but then I don't have any chicken. I don't know what the fuck, Actually, what I'll do, I'll dive in the freezer. I'll see if I can pull something out that I can heat up in the microwave, just to eat something simple. And cause it's 11:15, I just want to eat. I need to lay down. Yeah, I think you asked this question before. T29ASM. Do you like pizza? Yeah, I do. I like pizza. I like pepperoni pizza. I like the meat pizzas. I like the Hawaiian pizza that's got ham and pineapple. I don't, people complain about pineapple on a pizza, but when you've got fucking chocolate spread pasted all over pizza and people will eat that, who's to complain about pineapple? But yeah, I like pizza. So if anybody's working for a pizza company here in Milton Keynes, by all means, I'll promote your pizza if there's any independent pizza shops. In fact, we have loads. I mean, I've got a few menus down here, and we got menus coming through the door all the time. There's loads of fast food places here in Milton Keynes, ranging from chinks to Indian to pizza to kebabs, all of them. So if anybody in Milton Keynes, if you want, anyway, the drill. I'll do it. I'll wear your T-shirt and shout your name out. What's this? 4x4, should we let the EU have any of our fish? No, fuck them. They got plenty of ocean. They can fish their own fish out of their own ocean. No, we should keep our fish from our waters. I mean, other countries, they can have their own fish. I mean, they can make if they're not on the coastline, fuck them. They can do deals with somebody who is. But no, I mean, we got our own fish. We need to be serving it up for our own. I mean, fish is on the decline anyway. I mean, we're fishing more than we're fishing and eating fish faster than we can, or they can grow. So we don't need to be giving other countries our fish. Yeah, not a troll, says the pizza comment is from a troll. Yeah, I mean, I figured because they asked the question an hour and a half ago. Just do eat the pizza. How about? Yeah, how about you record yourself cooking the stir fry? Well, the thing is, I can't do it live. Well, at least I can do it live on this camera, but I need a phone which zaps the barcode. It's fucking. What's that manual? The manual somewhere. But the barcodes where the phone reads the barcodes and it goes straight to the site. That's what I need. I'll see if I can work that out. I don't know. I might have to buy a phone. But yeah, I can't do it live on the stream because I'll have to unplug the computer, take it in the kitchen, and the lead's not long enough. Yeah, 4x4. I say tell the frogs to go to Captain Birdseye if they want any fish. Yeah, just go see Captain Birdseye. He's got plenty of fish fingers. Yeah, go see them. Besides, I mean, any country that eats frogs' legs or eats frogs, eats snails, and they eat sheep's brains, I believe. Anybody who does that, we just need to stay a distance from them. Say, yeah, thank you very much. You just stay on your side of the ocean. Thank you. We don't want anything to, it's fucking nasty. Anyway. What about those chinks? The chinks or the Japs? They eat octopus. They eat fish while it's alive. Oh, fuck me! I've seen a few disgusting videos like that. They'll start eating octopus while it's still moving. Fish, they'll wrap its head in foil and cook the body. They're fucking nasty people. Theresa May, I don't think you're wearing any trousers, are you? No, I'm wearing some shorts. Funky Spectrum, are you against a homosexuality government? Well, I'm against homosexuality, full stop. I'm not a big fan of the lifestyle, as long as I don't. Well, that's the thing. I say a lot of negative things about it. As long as I don't see it, then I'm able to, but I don't want them running the country. Shit. Thing is, if you put them in charge, you don't know what kind of laws they're going to be bringing out. I mean, because the thing is, right? Because I mean, it's the age of homosexuality. Well, it used to be illegal back in the days. Then it went to I don't know if it went to 21, but it went to 18, mainly because the lawmakers are all thinking, well, bring the law, make it legal, or bring. Yeah, that was it. It was illegal, and then it was legal. Bring the age to 18, and then the lawmakers are thinking, well, we're a bunch of deviants. We get to fuck 18-year-olds and still be. And then they're thinking, then they're trying to bring it down to 16 because basically they want to fuck young ass. That's what it is. these deranged lawmakers that we have running around government. That's the only reason why somebody would want to bring it down from 21 to 18 to 16 is because they want to fuck young us. So no, if you put them in charge, who's going to what next? Don't know. Who knows? I mean, Christ Almighty, they made it legal for men to marry. I mean, how fuck. Those are kind of people you want. The person who brought that fucking idea around. Do you want them in charge? No. Let's see. For the Department of Shirtlifters. But no, I mean, really, I mean, great. I mean, on the one hand, I'm not a big fan. If you got to do it, don't make a big fucking deal. Don't go prancing around the streets and these gay parades with shorts, DMs, and fucking fairy wings on your back, and just don't do it. All right. And I definitely, like I say, I don't want them in charge. Anybody who brings in those kind of laws where they're bringing the age down as far as they can go, legalize gay marriage. I don't want those people making any fucking laws to be, I think you're. Which is why I was wondering about you. Yeah. Well, yeah. Okay. Funky Spectrum. I think you are quite like Stephen Fry, mate, because I know. Yeah. I mean, I know he's a homosexual. You know about a lot of stuff. Well, that's the thing. I know a little bit about a lot of stuff, but anyway. But which is why I was wondering about your attitude to homosexualisms. Because he is a gay man. Yeah, I know him, and I am a fan of Stephen Fry. Now, I like his. I'm not like that. I'm not a fan of his lifestyle, but you notice he'll mention that he is a homosexual, but he doesn't make a big drama out of it. It never comes out in his comedy. It never comes out in his, the Jeeves and Wooster TV show, all his comedy things, all the stuff that he's done by traveling abroad. He bought a taxi and drove all over America. That kind of thing never comes out. In conversation, it may come out of his lifestyle, but he doesn't make a drama out of it. He doesn't make, oh, look at me. All right, that was a, that's a stereotypical voice. But he doesn't do he doesn't make a big drama out of it. If it wasn't the fact that he mentioned it once in a while, you wouldn't know. And he isn't like, he's not the type to go down the gay parade thing, making a big drama, wearing sparkly spandex or none of that. I like him because he just does what he does, and he's funny, and he's well educated, and he's very well spoken, and he's articulate. I like him for those things. The fact that he very rarely mentions his lifestyle is a bonus as well. I like he doesn't make a big drama. That's so he's kind of. All right, there is an episode of The Bill once where they talked about shirt lifters. Actually, I think you're right. Funky Spectrum. Yeah, I mean the bill hasn't been on for a long time, I don't think. But I do remember there was a thing about it was shirt lifters as mentioned on an episode of The Bill. Okay, always keep your back to the wall and never look at the golden rivet. Oh, Dave. Okay, Dave, I have no problem with gay as long as they. Oh, thank you, Dave. That's pretty funny. Ram it down your throat. Not a troll. Articulate? Question mark. What did you call me? Articulate. Yeah, I was talking about Stephen Fry being articulate and well spoken. Theresa May says somebody apparently was using social media. Instagram pretending to be me. It was pretty weird. They were trying to make a bad name for you, or of you. I know you are. I obviously don't use Instagram though. No, I don't use any of that shit. Oh, yeah, by all means, if you find this guy doing it, report him for being an imposter. But yeah, I never use Instagram. Facebook is all fucking madness. Yeah, just YouTube is about all I can handle. Funky Spectrum, you are sort of like a cross between Stephen Fry and Eamon Holmes. Eamon Holmes. Is he the TV presenter? Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I do remember that, like Funky Spectrum. I do remember that. Yeah, something about the bill. They covered a lot of bit of subjects. All right, I'm gonna drink this. Right, that's done. Okay. I've been going 2 hours 52 minutes in a few seconds. Oh, spasm. He was yes, he presented Good Morning for a bit. You should be on that instead of Schofield. Yeah, I thought I recognised the name. That Eamon Holmes. Yeah, I figured he was a TVAM. Yeah. Well, I tell you, I don't know. I don't know about TVAM, but I reckon I could do one of those cookery shows, or even better on the radio. Oh, I don't have to just show up, a bit like I'm doing now. Just straight out of the tub, just get ready. But yeah, that cookery show, I've mentioned a few times before. When you get out of the audience, and he's been given a tenner to go down the shop, and he'll buy a potato, he'll buy a little piece of meat, he'll buy a turnip and an onion, and then the chef's got to create some magic out of it. I could do that. Yeah, that'd be my forte. I mean, I've done that a bunch of times, and I've dragged all kinds of stuff when I'm trying to clear out. The freezer's all clogged up with bits and pieces. It's got one sausage, one pork chop, 3 onion rings, 2 hash browns. Right, okay, and then I've dragged it all out. Got to make some magic out of this one thing. One to make a dinner, one to make an interesting video, and one to what the fuck? To clean out, clear out some space in the freezer. Okay, I'm just going to go down the list here. Trouble at McDonald's. Yep, done that. Argument with a guy at the favorite chicken. Smart mouth slob outside, giving me shit. The chip shop. Right, that's that. Yeah, and then the I don't think. Oh yeah, and there's that. The guy at work in the canteen, but I don't want to go into that too much. That's about it. So it's been a hassle-filled week. Actually, not a troll. Good night, he says. Good stream. See you next time. Look after yourself. Thank you very much. Not a troll. And if you missed the beginning, don't forget, I'll load it and then you can go back. Funky Spectrum. Have you ever had a coffee toffee? It's like a soluble toffee that you put in coffee. Well, no. I mean, I like toffee, but I'm kind of allergic to coffee. So, I'm not put it in drinking chocolate, perhaps. 4x4. Good night, Mark. Let's see that steak cooking soon. Indeed. 4x4. No, 4x4. Good night. Oh, that's 4x4. Peter B. Cheers, Mark. See you in the next live. Right. Looks like everybody's going to go to bed. I need to go lay down myself. So, Okay, so everybody, yeah, right. Just to recap, yeah, if you know a business who wants me to promote them, great, I'll do it. Some free stuff. Let the ads play; it helps the channel. And Theresa May, good night to you. Peter B, thank you, and thank you everybody for watching. Okay, and that is about it. So good night, everybody, and see you in the next one.